What's going on, y'all? Y'all tuned in to another episode of Exposure. I be your boy Global Zoe, and I'm with the gang.
Here, Biddines.
You got Drego Mill here on the ones and twos.
And we got two special guests with us today. I got super producer and songwriter C Money.
What's going on? You know the vibes.
And I got, when it comes to business management and consulting, we got Managed by Mo.
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing?
It's all about exposure. You need the exposure. You gotta touch the streets. You need that street credibility. You need that promotion. And that's what exposure provides for the people.
Working million at the mixtape side out here at MIA, grinding like I always do. We watching Exposure.
Getting hit in the head with that exposure. You know what it is, them down dogs, Raylo, #1 DJs, #1 promoters for show from Palm Beach. It's exposed. It's wide open now.
Y'all check it out, you know what I'm saying? Keep it locked all over Florida.
And you are watching Exposure.
How y'all doing?
Blessed.
Yeah.
Super
sure.
blessed.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
How y'all feeling with the holiday shopping? Y'all got that out the way?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal?
Good. We straight.
Still at it.
Still at it? I could testify to that. So let me ask y'all, when it comes to holiday shopping, y'all order everything online, or y'all like to go and actually to the store and make y'all purchases?
Store.
You like to go to
I
the
need
store?
touch and I'm not quite. Most women are.
Okay.
In the Fashion Nova Shein. I got to go touch it.
Okay.
I got to
Okay.
go see. I gotta
Okay.
make sure these are. what
Money
they
look
say
like he
they
just
are.
order it online. Just
I'm both.
send it to the high.
I'm both.
You both?
Yeah, I'm into the whole online, you know, especially with, you know, the whole e-commerce thing going on. So
Okay. That's
I'm
what's up.
definitely doing both.
Oh, that's what's up. That's
Y'all
what's
ready
up.
for that cold weather tomorrow?
What?
They say it's going 40, 30s out here.
No.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got plenty of hoodies. I got plenty of exposure hoodies. I'm good. I got beanies. We good. If it's dropping low, I'm good. I ain't tripping. Man, we've been on the topic, you know, on the third episode here, guys. We've been on the topic. We talking about the Palm Beach County music scene. And you both got a lot of accomplishments, and we're still trying to understand, when we talk about an artist, how come nobody in Palm Beach has made it on a global scale? Like out there. Now, yeah, we done some features. Some people done shows out of state. We actually have artists that went on tour. We got artists with major features, nice budget videos, who been on big platforms. But what do you think is holding us back? C Money, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think is holding us back from getting what Memphis currently has right now?
Man, that's an easy one for me. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I really feel like it's unity. You know what I mean? That's a part of it. I feel like definitely like, but since like back in the days, you know, when I was traveling and as a DJ, if I'm in like, you know, Georgia or Alabama, you see the support, like you just see the support system amongst the people in that area, you know?
All right.
Here, it's always one person, like it be about just them, you know, but not everybody getting together and like putting that look out there to the outsiders, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that has a big part to be it, like to play
So
with it.
is this the artist? If I get momentum, I got the buzz right now, is it my job to be reaching out to others to make the movement bigger? Or automatically, if I'm hot in the city, everyone, producers, DJs, entrepreneurs, I mean, whatever you're doing and you know of me, you're supposed to get behind me and help push.
I think it's both. I think
Both.
it's like I give you a perfect example. Like let's say you see I attend the FATS event coming up, right?
Right.
I meet people. Talking about it is one thing, but after the day we talk about it, tomorrow or a week later, are we gonna schedule something? Are we really gonna
Facts.
do the things that we said that we're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of that is lacking over here.
Okay, follow through. You know what I mean? Like if we meeting and we networking, we say we're gonna do something, or I know I need your services. Actually hitting you back for it and making sure we connect the dots.
Exactly.
All right. I like that. Mo, what you think?
Just living. I lived in Atlanta for like 11 years, so being up there and being in the industry there, I think C is absolutely right. I think that a lot of it is like gelling and like being cohesive and working together. One of the things that I see, let me just say this first. Palm Beach is no less talented than any other place I've been. I've been to LA, I've done Baltimore, I've done Atlanta. Like, we're not any less talented. I think a lot of it is the business and just understanding, like, once you go and you record the song, you put the EP together, whatever it is that you're doing, you're a small business essentially. right? So not being versed in the bit, and I'm not talking about, oh, go get you some business credit and pull out. No. Like, okay, well, once you had the money, what are you gonna do with it?
Facts.
Where do you put it? Not knowing, like, you're gonna give something to him, and you guys are gonna put together like a beautiful work of art.
Right.
But what about your marketing? You know what I'm saying? What about your promo? Why are we? We'll get a budget. You can have a budget like, let's say you have a budget of like 50, right?
And we saying 50,000.
We're saying 50K. So you got a budget of like 50. We'll go put 25 of that into things that aren't going to carry, right? So I think that.
Can you give us an example on something like that that's not going to carry?
That's not going to carry a feature. A feature is something that I think is kind of like it's a fool's mission in a lot of cases, right? Like if I'm already buzzing in the city and I've got you supporting me, you're putting me on your podcast, why do I need to go outside of my community to give somebody half of my budget, a third of my budget? Because it doesn't just stop at the feature, because you gotta figure out what their paperwork looks like.
Right.
You gotta make sure you're gonna be able to get that clear. Are you getting mechanicals? Are you getting performance? You don't even know. You just went and handed somebody $15,000,
right?
And then you get mad when they don't post it on Instagram, or he didn't put me on his TikTok. You didn't negotiate that. Right. You didn't do the business.
That's facts.
So
that's facts.
I think that's where we got to kind of start getting into those spaces. But yeah, I feel like everybody here is just super talented. We just need some sort of like structure, and I think that would really help.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's real. I mean, management. A lot of artists out here as on the independent grind. Not everybody has management in the beginning, right? Everyone's trying to figure it out on their own. I remember when I was starting out, I called a well-known promoter who kind of was taking on management with some artists, and he told me, man, until you have a situation to manage yourself. And that stuck with me. You know what I mean? That hit me because I was a little disappointed in the response, but I went out there and get it. You know what I mean? I went out there to grind, and I learned that I've got to learn the music business. I got to know how to come up with artwork and how to promote it, how to get it to the people, how to negotiate my feature price or my show price, and that's where it's at. Right. Man, that's some good stuff though. Yeah. Good stuff coming from. So C Money, I know you. I don't know if the world knows you as yet, but I know you personally. You was from Merc the Mic. You had the studio. You produced. I seen you DJing when Mirage Days was around. Maybe other clubs, but I know Mirage for sure. So now I see Music Moves Money. Yeah. So. And I also know the collab. I know the LL Cool J Movado. I know Trina. And I seen a lot of other. I either hear the tag or I see you in the video. C Money. Who is C Money today?
Man, I mean, the whole Music Moves Money. I did that because I had Merc the Mic for so long. I actually did Merc the Mic because when I had the group Merc Squad, we needed, like, I'm always like business minded, you know what I'm saying? So it's always good. You still need to look, but at the same time, you know, you got to have some type of business. So I created Merc the Mic. Okay. To brand Merc Squad. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So
which was a rap group. When you say Merc the Mic, Merc Squad was the rap group.
It was rapping, yeah.
Okay.
It was a few of us, you know, just rapping back. You know, we was young. Okay. So after that, that's when I opened up my the studio, Merc the Mic, I think with Merc the Mic Studios and stuff like that. But
is this Delray Beach?
Yeah. Okay. Where I'm at today, the reason I did Music Moves Money, I just felt like, because once we all just, you know, kind of separated, and as you grow, people do different things. I just felt like I had it for so long. I would say I know for sure over 10 years. And I'm like, you know what? I just want to start fresh. That's just how I felt. I just want to start fresh, and I wouldn't say start over. It's just more of, let me take this to another level. You know what I mean?
Took a different avenue.
Exactly.
There you go.
You feel me? So I just I still have it. That's my company forever now.
All right.
You know? But I started Music Moves Money to just try to drop like everything that I've experienced. I'm like just picking and choosing what I went through and want to do things like more different, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with Music Moves Money. And
so is this production? Is this songwriting? Is this management? Is this a label? I mean, because I know you do multiple things,
Yeah.
so that movement, what can we expect from that movement there?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
All right.
A lot. You know, I'm an engineer. I'm a DJ. I'm a mix engineer.
On that right there, is there still a team or is it just C Money right now?
I mean, I'm well, as far as partnership, no, it's just me right now.
Okay.
But I am hiring. You
Okay.
know, like I'm hiring like people to, you know, to help the company do what it needs to do.
Okay.
So
awesome.
that's where I'm at.
So, and good
Well,
question.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Did you say what you was doing with it? Just anything. I don't know if I got an answer.
No. Let me answer that.
Is it trying to be a
So-
label or?
Nah. Well, right now it's more on the production type of thing. So anything that has to do with entertainment, production, like, you know, studio time. If you need records, like, you know, I give full records. I'm talking about a full song with the songwriter, studio, anything that comes with like production type of things, even visuals. You know,
Okay.
I'm doing that as well. I got other partners that I deal with. You know, so that's where we at.
So let's talk about it. You from Palm Beach.
For sure.
We have a good amount of producers, but you the biggest record, at least I think I know of, is it the LL Cool J featuring Movado? Is Movado on the record too, or is it a different record?
Yeah.
It's the same, right?
Movado on there.
How does a producer from Palm Beach County
right.
link with one of the greatest of all time? Like that's what we want to know, because people are making moves in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
We just kind of don't know everybody that is, but from a producer working with LL Cool J, I don't know too many producers that can say that, right?
For sure.
So how did that come about?
Well, I mean, remember when I was like, you know, like Palm Beach is only so big. So during the time of the clubs, we usually have one club that's popping.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, I was the DJ at the time of the club. I can't remember which one right now, but I just felt like when I had my studio, I'm like, you know what? I done did so much in the county, you know. I done did so much, like, and if you got something going on, trust me, we gonna know about it, because there was no social media like that at the time, you know. So we out there just getting it. So I just said, you know what, man, I gotta get outside of Palm Beach. You feel me? I was connected, one of my boys, shout out to Billy, and I was moving around with him. I think I went to LA to go mess with him, and right from LA I flew to New York. And I was working out of Daddy's house. After Daddy's house, I was supposed to come back here, and I forgot what happened. I ended up staying.
Okay.
So I tried to book the studio again because I like the vibe. You know, I'm in Biggie room. I'm doing all that stuff. So while I'm there, I'm
You
like,
say that? Hold up, Daddy?
Diddy.
Diddy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was working out of there when I was in New York.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was supposed to be back. I ain't come back. I can't remember. Just a lot was going on.
All right.
So I remember I was trying to get back in the studio, but it was booked. So I was just there looking for studios. I ended up 2 blocks down, which was Platinum Sound.
Okay.
And I was working at Platinum.
Okay.
So from the time I was working at Platinum, one of the people, shout out to Gervy, I think he called Jerry Wonder, and they just heard my tracks playing. And I think he was like, I don't know, he just called him or something and said, hey, yo, that one producer that was working out of Daddy's house is here. And I came back here, and then I wanted to get out of here again because I was doing so much over here. But I love the energy over there.
Right.
Booked the flight, went back to New York to go work at that studio because I did so much over here. I'm like, nah, I gotta be away.
Okay.
From the second trip I went there, I can't remember if I met Jerry the first trip, but
Jerry Wonder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't remember if it was the first or the second trip. Whenever it was, all I know is the second time I went back around, I went back over there. We linked up, met him, and from there, you know, it was history. That's when I signed over to Wonder Music.
That's what's up.
And matter of fact, he's the one that actually placed the LL Cool J record.
Okay, that's what's up. So I noticed. Okay, you moved outside of Palm Beach. Mo, you went to Georgia for how many years?
I was up there for about 10, 11 years.
10, 11 years. Was it for the music business or?
No. Like most high school girls, my mama was tired of me. So she.
So you from Florida?
Yeah,
You from Florida?
I'm
Okay.
from Palm Beach. My people from Revere.
Okay.
They from Monroe Heights. Shout out Monroe Heights.
All right.
So I am from here. Moved to Atlanta at 16. Graduated on the South Side. Shout out to the South Side, Clayco. Everybody down there. But yeah, so was supposed to go to Spelman. Couldn't afford Spelman because I graduated high school and the market crashed. So my mom was like, I can either keep my house or you can go to Spelman, pick one. So I ended up not going to Spelman. I ended up at Georgia State. So I'm disgruntled. I'm like, all right, well, I got to do something for some money. So me and my little homeboys, we start throwing like these little team parties or whatever. We just put like $500 together and like rent out like a little venue.
Okay.
And ironically, the same place where we were doing our team parties is where Travis Porter got their start. So we were all like kids in like that same circle. And I remember being at the venue one day. I was putting my deposit down, and this girl walks up, and she's just like, hey, you in school? This, that, another thing. Yeah, I'm in school. Okay, well, you hustling, this, that, another thing. This my cousin. He's got a studio not too far from Georgia State because she knew I was in school. She said, why don't you give him a call? And I said, okay, I'll do that or whatever. So I get a phone call. Hey, yeah, come down. It was a girl named Siobhan. Siobhan, if you can hear me, what's up? But she calls, yeah, come do the interview, this, that, other thing. And this is like, when interning was still a thing. I know y'all seen the thing with Glorilla and like the $550 a week.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later, but
okay.
This was interning for free.
Okay.
Right? And I show up to the studio off of Peter Street and hi, my name is DJ Drama.
Oh.
I got dragged and dropped into the game. Like I had no idea.
Oh.
So I'm like a little girl from West Palm Beach. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I show up and they like, what's up? You come back here, you gonna sweep. I had to press up mixtapes. Yeah. So yeah. So that's kind of how I got my start. And then from there, right, going back to interning, not getting paid, I was trying to find like little jugs and like ways to make money. So what I figured out was, I'm like, okay, this is DJ Drama, so it's not just like one rapper that's coming through here. It's like Boosie's coming through here, Gucci's coming through here. So they would go over to Patchwork in the evening.
Okay.
So before Uber Eats and all these other things, I'm like, well, they gonna get high, they gonna get drunk, and they gonna get what? They gonna get hungry.
You're hungry, yeah.
And I had a little car. So I would be like, hey, I'll just come up there and I'll just run food. Like, y'all need to go get blunts? Like, cool, I got it. I'll just go run food. And half the time they fumbling through their pockets, they handing you 50s. They don't know they giving you the money to stand up.
Right.
So I did that. And one night I'm in there and there was an older woman in there. It ended up being Walker's mom.
Oh.
Deb.
It ended up being Deb. And I had known Walker from the South Side because I had a little job at a bowling alley. And he was telling me, yeah, my mom was looking for interns, this, that, and the thing. But, like, at this point, I don't know who your mom is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here with Drama. I'm thinking, I'm good where I'm at. Like, I don't know your mom, right? But, the office is down here and this, that, and the other thing. So, fast forward, I end up in the studio and, my name is Deborah, and, you should come check me out. Yeah. Sweetheart, you should come check me out, and I'm going to give you a call. Didn't hear nothing. I'm going to Georgia State, this, that, and the other thing. I get a call one day. I'm going down Bankhead Highway. And it was her office manager, a lady by the name of Severe Bacchus, who is like a huge mentor to me. Severe actually was with Diddy when she was a teenager. She was like running around with C's and stuff as teenagers, like goes way back. And so she called me and she's like, well, why don't you come in for the interview? So we did the whole spiel. And I just remember like getting to the office and it just looked like a doctor's office. Like it was just all these women. It was just really, it just wasn't what you would have expected. And I remember sitting down to the table and she's like, well, you're in school, and what are you in school for? Obviously for communications, because I wanted to do something in entertainment.
Gotcha.
And she goes, I remember her asking me, she's like, do you know who Gucci Mane is? And I'm like, well, I've heard of him, this, that. And she's like, well, this is his office. And that this is what we're getting ready to do. And just to kind of give you an idea of like the time period, this was like right after Trap House. We haven't even started going to jail yet.
Okay, wow, early.
We're in jail
early.
at this time. We're in jail. Dang. I'm holding the phone up to the speaker so that he can write his raps from jail cell at Right Street. At 18. Yeah.
That is dope. I would have never known.
This pregnant Gucci.
I'll show you a picture. This big, lean, this Gucci. This is kicking, This is that Gucci. So so that's how I got my start, and I started off as an intern with her. Ironically, it was just like a whirlwind because I remember working with Drama. we were on the set for the Love and Money. He had put out an album and it was For the Love and Money, and I just remember like coming out the door and like this girl comes out the door, and I was watching. Y'all remember the Smack DVDs?
Yeah, for sure.
The Smack DVDs.
For sure.
And I remember this girl coming out the door, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, are you Nicki Minaj? And I just remember her turning to me. She was like, you know who I am?
Wow.
I was like, yeah. Like, you Smack DVDs. So Deb ended up managing her.
Yeah.
So I was actually one of the project managers on the Beam Me Up Scotty album. I got a shout out at the end. I got a little credit at the end. But yeah, so in a nutshell, that's just kind of like the world I came from. I was able to see like really big movements start like organically and from like the ground up, and just seeing how much of a part women play in the industry. And I think I'm not saying like men are misogynistic, but I think going back to what we're talking about with the business is that I don't think a lot of men understand how many women support what we do. When you start playing at like those higher levels, when the room doesn't smell like smoke anymore, when there's not like music blaring, when there's not a bunch of like trapped out cars outside, when you get to a certain place in your career, you're not gonna see a lot of men.
Wow.
You know? So,
facts. That's different. That hit different. Man. Wow. I love it. No, I love it. So money. As we talk about this, so who have you worked with anybody in Palm Beach County? What artists have you worked with in Palm Beach County?
So you
okay?
It's
right.
crazy.
That's
right.
right.
Let me tell you what's crazy, right? So remember the whole Merch Squad stuff. Remember like I used to record over at Mix Set, and we and you was actually one of like the hustlers that I always see. You know, like always out there just doing what you do. You know, with the whole raw material and stuff like that. And then you was actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like one of the first features, or is the first feature that I did with the whole Merch Squad thing.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
You bringing me back. It's hitting me.
Yeah,
it's hitting me.
And I was working with Mixette at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I mean, I did collabs with I did some stuff with Snapper.
Okay. She's by Tory Spade now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Tory Spade.
Hey, we actually, you know, I ain't gonna say too much, but we actually in motion.
Okay, good.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy to see her actually coming back. I mean, it's females is winning, you know, hands down. But I was happy to see her going because I feel like she always had it. You know what I mean? From back then to now.
Yeah.
Image on point, and the rap, she's still snapping.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
And One Hot, of course. One Hot.
And y'all got something recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. For sure. We got that. Des Rose Gold.
Oh, okay.
You know, I got 2 projects out on her.
Okay.
Who else from here, man? What's the other Young Cali?
I've heard of him before.
Yeah, Young Cali, baby. I got a record out on him. Who else I've worked with out here? Palm Beach. Can't remember. I think.
So no, it's good. I mean, you done named some. You done named some folks. Is there anybody in Palm Beach that you want to work with yet that you haven't like touched, but you like, hey man, I've always been a fan, or this person's probably the movement's good right now. You feel like I would love to collab with X, Y, and Z.
I don't see anybody like as far as like right now, like, but I'm always like I'm open. So if I do get introduced to some talent, or you know, or the person's making noise, I'm always open to work. I don't just be like, oh nah, you ain't got a record deal. I don't work like that. If you got true talent, because my whole life I grew up and my mom sang, my sister sang. I got a musical background.
Okay.
I'm sure I know a lot about.
Of course, you know me back in the days as well.
Yeah.
You
with the family and all that. How's the moms, man?
You know, she blessed.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
man.
she blessed. You know, so
well, she had way more ways than everybody, boy.
Yeah.
But she had the Atlantic Ocean out there.
Yeah. You feel me?
That's what's up.
So that's where I come from. You know, so I'm never that person that be like, oh nah, you don't got nothing. Nah, if you got true talent, I'm willing to work with you, because you never know where that person will be like 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You just never know. But that, all you know is that person has a true gift, you know, and if I could help out to bring that, you know, to bring that out, or play my part and do what I could do with my services, I'm definitely down to do it.
That's what's up. I guess more, I got a question on the managing side. Is it hard managing I mean, how do you choose a client? Like, let's say do they just have to pay for the service, or do you actually have to like the music, and do they have to have a grasp of the game and where they want to go with it? How do you pick on a client?
And I'm sure you don't just go to anybody, because you can
know.
see talent also.
You know, it's so crazy. So when I used to work for Deb, she would call me in the room.
Oof.
I got music notes behind my ear because of her. They would call me in the room to listen to stuff, right? Because I had the youngest ear. Everybody in the office was like over 40, 35, 40.
Right.
So I always tell people, like, within the first 30 seconds, you know this, you know if it's hitting or not. It don't take a minute for you to like a song.
5 seconds.
Yeah, like,
Facts.
quick. Like, quick. Okay. So, yeah, I have to like it, because I'm going to try to work it. Because most of the time, if you're new to the business, like if I'm working in Palm Beach, right, a lot of us, we have a budget, but it may not be the biggest budget. So a lot of the things, I'm going to have to go up to, Flash and sit with Buddha. But I can't take him trash. I'm not going to take him something that I don't believe in.
Okay, I got a question for that, though.
Go ahead.
Let's say somebody come to you, they ain't got it, but they got the bag. What do you do from there?
My integrity first.
Repeat that?
My integrity is first.
Okay.
Because this is what ends up happening. And you know this. Everybody, like, you can have, because everybody knows people in the street, they got money. They can just throw money and stuff. That's fine. But when you start playing at certain levels, this is our face.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can't buy my relationships. You can't buy my credibility, And if I start funneling things to people and emailing things to DJs, like, Morgan always sending me trash. Well, what happens when I get something that's not trash? Yeah. Right? And then they don't even want to hit play on it because there's a lot of people in the industry now that are just taking your money.
Yeah.
You know this is trash. Why are you taking bro money?
You see what's been going on lately, though? I mean, they all just taking it back. Right, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Is it a short game or is it a long? What are we playing for? Because if you're just gonna hit somebody for 15 and hit them for 25 here and hit them for $5,000 here, what are you doing for your career? What are you in it for? You must got a car wash or something somewhere else, because you must not really care about it.
I got a question for both of you guys, though.
All right.
If I'm gonna use me for an example. If I bring something to you and it's trash, have you told someone, hey, this not it?
I'll tell you.
You tell them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll put it because I know people have feelings.
Right.
I'll try my best not to just say it blood raw like that. Like, I'll try to make you understand.
Right.
Like, what's going on.
Right.
You feel me?
But I won't just messed up there. I asked that because I messed up just recently there. But I'd like to hear your opinion before I open my mouth about it.
So I'll give this guy his flowers, right? So a lot of the time, instead of me telling him like it's trash, sometimes people are creative, but like it's a difference between you getting beats and being produced, right? You working with an actual producer, somebody that understands notes, somebody that understands sound design, somebody who's like, okay, I see where you're trying to go with this, but let me show you how to get there, because you can't get there on your own, right? So I think sometimes too, I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us have been in the studio in a moment with somebody who thought they were going to go in there and just hit the space bar and record, and they can't.
Yeah.
And a session that should have been 3 hours is 6 hours. But it's just because they don't have like the technical skills, right? So I think a lot of times like they have the creativity, but they probably just need to be routed in a different direction.
That guidance.
Correct. I told someone recently, I asked that because someone recently reached out to me and they sent me something. I heard it and I'm like, I think they did it just to hear themselves, but not saying, hey, don't come to me with it. It's just, I told them straight up, I said, no. And I just left it from there. And they was like, what you mean you don't like it?
I'm pulling up. What you mean?
With this person, because they know what I do, so they cut. Yeah. But I'm like, I can't just give it to them nice, because I know who this person is.
Right.
Okay.
But if you're going to do this, just get ready to hear what's going to come with it. You feel me? So I told them I'm not trying to make you stop doing what you're doing, but play it and let me know if you really think that you'll play this on repeat. If you feel like that, then let the world hear it. Release it. If you're going to play it on repeat and you're going to really bump with it, and you got no bad feelings about it, let it go. Let the world hear it. That's what I told him. Okay. I said, but he's like, you're not feeling? I said, nah, bro, that's not it. That's not it. And he ain't like my answer. He want to reply.
But you saying that on a DJ thing, right? Because he came to you for you to
Well,
spin
no,
the
no,
record.
he know I produce, cause he may want to come to me and record and do all of this and do all of that. But I already know he not on that level, dog. He just wanna.
Yeah.
You hear his voice and wanna hit.
You see somebody like me, I would tell them what I could do to help them, you know, like, because as a producer, maybe if the beat's totally trash, you could work with them and set up a session where y'all could do something joint together.
Correct.
To bring that life out of whatever you was hearing.
Facts. But if you know it's somebody that you know that this is a one-time thing.
Man, it's a business.
No, it's facts. But again, now we going back to, I'm gonna get the bag from you. I'm gonna just take the bag from
and
you.
I also have a question. Does the relationship play a role? Like if a homie sends you
Correct.
something versus like someone on the outside, would you be more comfortable telling someone just it don't matter whether they're close or not? You just got to give it to them blood raw. Or maybe like that ain't the record I would sound good on.
Let me put some more cream on that.
Okay.
Hold on, put this.
Because
you got your studio.
Right.
Somebody come in. They come and record. Now you at the board, you recording them. They come out. They're gonna ask you for your opinion.
Yeah.
Now this is on. They're on the clock.
Yeah.
You just gonna take the bag, or are you gonna produce them and ask them, hey, are you gonna spend some more money for me to help you out?
Milkers.
It depends.
Yes, we've seen it.
Wait, studio milkers. Go ahead. When go ahead.
But check this out. It depends. Is it their own project or is it a project that they working on with you?
No, it's their own project.
Yeah,
if it's friendship too.
If it's their own project and you're just like engineering or something like that, then you don't owe them
anything, right?
Anything as far as if it's hot or because they just paying you for a service.
Now he just said that if it was a homie or you had a relationship or whoever it is,
it goes the same. I don't mix them two.
Bet.
Yeah, I don't mix that too.
I like that answer. I like that answer.
So many whack songs go though, so I don't know. It would be so difficult for me to answer any of those.
Oh, we talking about the moment
honestly.
when we say them wax songs, those the
it's
song
a lot of songs
today
that
gone
I thought
tomorrow.
Wasn't gonna go and they took off. And,
trending.
And
yes.
Some of the best songs don't get no shine.
That's what I was gonna add on that also.
But so we got to ask ourselves, why is that?
Oh, somebody should take the responsibility.
Oh, we actually had that conversation already. I don't know if you watched, right? I don't know if you guys watched the last episode.
I didn't catch it,
but okay. What I said, I blame the record labels.
Okay.
Because if the record labels were paying the artists what they were supposed to be getting paid, everybody would still be going that route. Am I wrong? Am I right? Because if we know the record labels, hey, they're not gonna pay you, they're gonna use. I'm sorry. They're gonna use you, do what they want with you. They're not gonna pay you, and it takes this long for you to actually get right and get your money right. If you got your own bag, like half these people that came out and did their own thing without the record label, now these labels are what? Now they're on the back burner. Now they're trying to catch up.
Now let me ask y'all something. Y'all talking about wax songs, right? But here's the thing though, like I feel like hustle, talent's a part of it, but hustle,
correct,
sometimes outbeat talent.
Almost always.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it could be a wax song, but let's say you have like a group of like, let's say kids, and you got that, whatever you say, Saul say, like called whack.
Right.
They got all those supporters doing that whack stuff with them.
Right. They got the drive.
Then now they
so
started
what?
something.
Correct.
Yeah. right.
Understood.
We get a bunch of people
And
doing
now
something.
you
Ain't
get
so
a
whack
lot of
no
people
more.
doing that same thing.
Right.
That's called drowning out the integrity.
Yeah. No, for real.
There's very little. There's very little of that.
Yeah.
And for us, that's more old school. We see the decline in technical talent.
Yeah.
So like you
education,
we
should say.
Sometimes the art of recording quality ain't there no more.
Yeah.
How the mics. So now I am blaming the labels, but I'm also blaming post Soulja Boy and the people that had the money or had the over hustle, and they was able to eliminate talent by oversaturating whatever it is. TikTok come out, it's already 10,000 people learn how to finesse it in a week. And they learning how to finesse they just put me on to the comments, how they doing the comment game, where some of these people look like they blew up and it ain't even real fans.
Yeah, it's not even
like
real. It's bought.
That hurt.
It's
that
bought.
hurt my feelings. So we drowning out the talent by saturation. I actually think it need to go back to people that's passionate like you with integrity. That where it go back to people who have legitimate references and producers like you that'll spend 6 hours just on one record before it's even completed, laid down. Yeah. I think it need to go back to all the old stuff. We ain't letting y'all be in there with y'all laptops recording something, throwing it on TikTok, blowing up. It ain't mixed. The producers ain't got the beat yet. Now people ain't even suing no more. The business so messed up. People ain't even suing no more. Now, oh no, I want them to take it. Let them take off and then give me $8,000.
Right. So
and they taking that.
It's like the government, right? There's like a route you gotta follow. Let's just say you get a ticket. Now you gotta follow this route to take care of this ticket, right? We had that in the music game. But someone came out and broke the rules. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what I was trying to say, again, if the record labels was doing their role and doing the right thing, I don't think half this music would be trash music would be out here like it is right now. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Things would have not probably moved this route if they changed their ways. You know what I'm saying?
Which is true, but I feel like real music, it's never gonna go away.
Correct. There's no expiration date on good music.
Right. Like, the ones that we call so-called whack, it has this little, time and its hype.
Come and go. Okay.
And after that, even them maybe probably 10, 15 years from now, they be like, man, versus somebody who really took the time, like you said, put in that body of work for 10, 15, 20 decades from now to still be playing.
What I would add too, and like if any smaller artists, this is how I'm looking at it, and this is what I tell like clients and like consults. We got to start looking at the labels like they're the bank. And when you want to go to the bank and you want to get a loan, they're asking you for a credit report. They're asking you for collateral. They're asking you for something. Your art becomes your collateral. Your buzz is now your collateral. They don't have the integrity that they once had. Like Motown is gone. Very good. That stuff is Tommy Mottola. That stuff is gone, right? Mm-hmm. So if I show up to the bank and I've got 6 bricks of gold worth $500,000, and this is my collateral that I put up, right? And you show up to the bank and you've got, I don't know, maybe you've got $500,000 worth of silver. Well, I'm going to tell you that my gold is better because it's gold, but you got the same value in silver. So now we got trash music that they're valuing as collateral because they're going to make money off of it regardless. That's the only reason why it's moving, right? And then you got like people that like I'm a fan of, like your Kendricks and your Andersons and stuff like that. The record labels they're just looking at it like, okay, am I going to get return on my investment? I think it's up to us as like the industry professionals and the artists to be within our integrity. I can't worry about Buddy that's over there making a new TikTok dance. You know what I'm saying? What am I in it for? Yeah.
But I guess it can be discouraging too when you are authentic and you putting in the work and you're putting out quality music. And Kevin Gates said it though, comparison is the killer of all joy. Right. But you can see something that is, let's say, not the best caliber of a record, getting such and such views, such and such comments, and you out here putting your all into it, and you don't get that same result. I guess that can discourage a lot. I'm sure a lot of folks feel that way. But that part is why I found the most challenging, especially when you get up there in age. Because I know we all started young. We dropped in like 2010. My for the first album, right? Yeah. 2010, and at that point, you're looking at Jay-Z dropped at 27. I think I was 24. I kept going by Jay-Z. Jay-Z dropped at 27. I was 3 years. I'm on that Jay-Z path, which is good, right? And then in due time, you're still releasing, and I've seen for myself, I've seen a steady incline from not stopping. Everything I drop, it does a certain number and it's growing. But I feel like if a lot of folks didn't, if you have that grind, that grit to keep going, my biggest thing is just keep doing what you're doing. And it's like sometimes I'm like, I've been doing that for a very long time. Right. And yes, do you get big features? Of course. Have I been on certain platforms that most probably wish of? Of course. But I think you can only, like anything, you can only go for so long before you start looking to your left and to your right. And sometimes you're like the only one out there. You know what I mean? You get like that. Get like that, right? You're like, whoa.
We are being naive to the in this conversation far as the militant application and making sure certain music win over more liberating music. And if we've been speaking primarily for urban music, so that part in what is actually sculpting the next 15, 20 years, these industries, it's about money, but then a lot of times it's not a lot about money. And there's programs and tests. Don't think it ain't no metrics and data on what records killed how many people. Yeah. This is like legit stuff we have, and when it's shown to people and they know that these can be certain results, and then it's we just doing it for the money because it's gonna work. We ain't even looking at what music really mean, especially to anybody that come from certain backgrounds, like you understood that. So that's when some of the beautiful, I love how people are so beautiful and they inspiring, but we be missing a lot of the reality and why there wouldn't be a lot more Kendricks and Andersons when clearly that make way more money than some of the other one-off records or somebody that just blew up on TikTok or got enough comments on Instagram. That's like devaluing, and that hurts even people you might want to work with somebody like, man, I want to work with this pop artist, but it's gonna we ain't got $100,000 budget because that's what's gonna take to make certain people go. Some people are just not cheap artists. Right. They come with a quality about them that you're like, man, you can't do a $500 video. Right. It ain't gonna work for this song. This record is amazing. Yeah. We need. It's but bigger than that.
I agree because I deal with it like as a producer, and if somebody come to me and don't have a budget for records, it's plain and simple. It ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta put our 10 toes down and put that value on it. You know, and then what I'll do, I create my own platform. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm a hustler. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Like I love what she said. Like keep going. So that way, I'm gonna put so much pressure out there that you gonna end up coming. Maybe right now might not be the time or whatever, but at some point, maybe you'll see like, nah, what he got going on makes sense.
Right.
And you feel me? I want to be a part of that.
And by that time that happened, you got a boatload of library and everything to drop on their head right there and then.
Yeah, for sure. Because I get that. Like when somebody might want to come and don't want to spin the bag.
Understood.
It's just. So
let me ask you, what DAW are you using right now?
Pro Tools, MPC.
Is that your favorite one?
Yeah, Pro Tools and MPC. Yeah. What happened is I started off on FL Studio.
Right.
But when I had my studio, I used to use Sonar.
Right.
I was tired of traveling. You know, I'm a great engineer. I've been engineering for so long. I started off with Core Edit Pro.
Right.
So way back. And I would always be traveling no matter, I'm always with somebody taking me to a studio and they had Pro Tools.
Right.
But when they got Pro Tools at the studio, I'm an engineer, but I don't know how to use Pro Tools. You feel me? So now they're like, okay, I gotta find an engineer. But I know I'm an engineer, but I just don't know how to use Pro Tools. So what happened is I was using FL Studio, and at the time it was only on Windows.
Correct.
And when I opened up my studio, I said, you know what? I'm gonna open up my studio with Pro Tools.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm tired of traveling, and everywhere I go, even the mainstream studios, is Pro Tools.
Right.
And I can't run it. And I know how to record my ass off.
Right.
I know all the plugins, but I just don't know that DAW.
Yeah. Facts.
When I did that, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of now I gotta go back and forth to produce.
Right.
Cause I got FL Studio, which is on Windows, I got Pro Tools on Mac.
So it's adding more work.
I said, you know what, man? No, I gotta figure out a way to just use one system and just make my job a little easier. I'll do it the hard way if I have to. So that's when MPC was out. So Pro Tools, you can't there's certain features you can't do that FL Studio could do.
No
but
piano
MPC
roll.
could do. Like the waves.
Right.
So I end up buying an MPC. I started sampling on there.
Okay.
And I do my drum kits on there.
Okay.
And all my keys and all my regular sounds I do on Pro Tools.
Okay.
So now I produce on Pro Tools and MPC. That's how I make my records.
Okay. I gotta get on the MPC game, man. Oh, for the people that don't know, DAW is the software that people use to actually
digital
record.
audio workstation. Yeah.
Correct. There you go.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
Awesome. Do y'all feel like Palm Beach County has a music like today? Do you feel like we have a music scene today at all? Like, what do you see?
We definitely have a scene here, and there's so many talented people. We just need to, when we say, I've heard.
I hear
say,
this all the time.
Me
But
too.
you gonna
Me
say
too.
what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
But we have it, and Palm Beach. If you are listening, we got to get together on the business. We have studios, we have producers, but I'm tired of our producers having to go to New York.
Good point. Good point.
We got some. I've been in some spaces down here. We got some dogs in Palm Beach, and I'm telling you, I done sat in Stankonia. I done sat in Patchwork. You know what I'm saying? I was in the studio when first day out was recorded. We ain't doing nothing less than nobody else. We have the talent, but we gotta come together on the actual business and try to figure out how we can get this marketing together, how we can educate ourselves about contracts and stuff. Because how many people, y'all can tell me, how many people are in the city that have signed shitty deals? And that's why we don't hear from them anymore.
Right.
Or they got disgruntled when they signed a shitty deal. You see what I'm saying? So I think that we have all of like the front stuff, you know, we've got all the superficial things, but the only thing I'm seeing in Palm Beach is that we just don't have the business together, and it's like we are fighting it. And I don't know if it's scary. I don't know if people feel like somebody is going to take advantage of them, but I always tell new artists, baby, if I sign you for 20%, 20% of zero is zero.
Yeah.
I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
I'm doing you a favor. Because where you gonna be? Who
Right.
else? Who else is here? You
Nobody
ain't left
moving.
here. You ain't got no motion nowhere else. You know, we don't even want to go to Miami.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking at the.
I see that.
right.
We don't
Seeing
circulate
people blowing
the circulation.
From TikTok,
Yeah.
If I'm gonna leave, I could just.
I
Probably
think
you can do
everybody
it-
trying
you
to go
can do
that
it from the
route.
phone.
Everybody gonna only want to go
On
that
social
route.
media, just doing it from social media.
Or we're paying. Excuse me. We're paying these little Instagram blogs $300 and $400 to put out. Hot so and so from Rivera is up next.
I seen
so
that.
don't have, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I've been studying. I'm like, it's a lot of these guys that are paying, like, I won't say any names, but they're paying like little blogs and stuff like that to post them, which is what you should be doing because that's a PR method.
Okay, right.
You should be doing that, but like the work and the promotion, like you have to push that even more. Like just an Instagram post is not enough. Like, bro, where's the music? Where's the projects? Where are the EPs? There's nothing worse than hearing a song. Like I'll hear like little street dude songs. And then I go to Spotify and I go to Apple Music.
You can't
and
find it.
everything is a single.
Yeah.
There's no EP.
Right.
You got a feature with 6 different dudes on the song. I can't tell who is you. But that's business stuff. That's branding.
Yeah.
That's marketing. That's making sure that you stand out as an artist. I don't know if you're in a group. I don't know if you're solo.
Right.
You're next up. Where are you from? Like, we just need to get better at that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Don't get stuck
So-
in that homeboy. Oh yeah, let me jump on because you with me in the studio.
Gosh.
You know that's where all the features come in. At this person don't even rap, but he on the song today. You feel me? I done
Yeah.
seen that
Right.
through my engineering days. You feel me?
right.
Like, oh, this person just getting in the booth.
Right.
No split sheet.
You feel me? Nothing.
But would you think somebody will feel offended if you hit them? Like, let's say, like, does that mean they understand the business? If I am, let's say, I do hit somebody on IG, we DMing, we ready to work. Hey, pull up to the studio. I got the record, and I pull up, and before I even jump in the studio, I have my split sheet with I'm like, hey, so let's negotiate, let's sign, let's agree on the points, and then I'm gonna do this. Do you think somebody will feel offended, or is like that's the route we should be in? If you understand the business, you won't be offended. That's what we should be doing moving forward.
Being offended has got us where we are now.
Ego.
I agree.
You right.
Being offended and not being about the business has us exactly where
Is
we're
that a
at.
culture thing?
I mean,
I
it's,
think there's a lot of YouTube scholars out there. There's a lot of, when you get like a Meg Thee Stallion or you get like, these different rappers to say, hey, I signed a bad deal, don't sign nothing, know your paperwork, this, that, and the other thing. Like, they're absolutely right. But just know that you're not going to know your paperwork on your own, and you need an attorney. Yeah. You need an attorney. You need to start, like, if that's what you're on, like, I don't want to do this because I'm scared or I feel like I'm going to be legally bound to something. Okay, well, do you really want to rap? Because if you don't face it now, you're going to have to face it later. And don't let it be later when you're staring $500,000 in the face and your babies are hungry and your rent's not paid, like, no, like, get ready now. Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I think we just have to start conditioning ourselves to just, you have to think about your career as if it's already so. I tell people this story all the time. I'm in Atlanta. I'm sitting on Peter Street. Me and Nicki went out to eat one night. This was after the Dirty Awards. I don't know if y'all remember that awards show where Tip and them got to arguing.
When we say Nicki Minaj,
Nicki,
right? Okay,
Nicki
we
Minaj.
got to say the full name.
Yeah, we need that.
We ain't talking about just Nicki off the street. All right.
And when I say speak it as if it were so, this was at a point in time where she was just bubbling. And I remember her, she was like, Morgan, I'm going to be famous. She said, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be famous. I don't care what I got to do. I don't care who I got to. I'm going to be famous. She's like, I'm telling you right now, give me a year. In 1 year, she was, Moment for Life was out.
That was it.
Beam Up Scotty's out. Wayne came, picked her up, did it, you know.
You seen it.
But she claimed it. And I just remember sitting, eating my little sandwich. I was like, bitch, you're fucking crazy. And even more so, and I'll probably get in trouble for this, we were walking out of the Dirty Awards, and I won't say who it was, but I just remember her grabbing my hand, and she had like a little moment of like insecurity about something. And this is no dig to her, but for anybody that's listening, imposter syndrome is real. It's real, but don't down yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like, okay, I've been doing it for 10 years, I can't go 10 more. Then okay, if you say you can't, then you can't.
If you say you can.
You can.
Real talk.
You know, so I've watched somebody claim it, and we see where she is now. And she just wasn't there yet. And then there was no Instagram. There was no virality there. It was MySpace when she was doing it. My girl used to come in. We used to show up to the office at 9 in the morning. My girl would be waiting at the door before the staff even got there with her hair wrapped. If you go back and look at those old Smack DVDs, she drove a little white BMW 5 Series. That little 5 Series used to be at the office, 9 o'clock in the morning, hair wrapped with a little bubble coat on. She would come in that office, she would shut the door to the conference room, and she would sign posters all day. And then she would get on MySpace and email or message all her little fans, and then she would mail them posters, I remember going up to the Spelman campus and flooding the hallway of the dorms with signed posters from Nicki Minaj. Like, I wonder if any of those girls still had those posters. But, like, she didn't wait on anybody to do it for her. She spoke it into existence. So by the time that the real money in the bag and Wayne stopped tripping and finally came and got her, she was ready. She was ready. She already knew how to run a business. That's why she was able to catapult the way that she did, because she was already running a business before she even had business.
That's real
and
talk.
I think a lot of artists need to start running themselves like a business.
It's that hustle.
Yeah.
That drive.
That's real.
Yeah, that drive, man. You gotta have it.
So something we've been seeing for many episodes as we talk about the grind and artists making it is Eric believes we got a curse on us, but when you think about it, a lot of artists who had momentum, right? Something goes wrong. Bad deal. They die. They locked
That's why y'all
up.
paused when I said that.
I want to say rest in peace to the ones that did pass. Unfortunately, you got a lot that's locked up. It's like, do y'all feel the same way, or y'all feel like we can still we just got to be maneuvering different? It's still that unity piece, or when you really think, I've heard about. I don't know. I can like Money Mitch. I didn't know Money Mitch. But when he passed, I see the bling. I see
I didn't know who he
the
was
man
either.
looked like he was already famous. I was like, oh, I never heard of him. He was from
curse.
here. He was from here, but once he passed, it's like the love and his music. I knew who Money Mitch was at that moment
when he passed,
right? J. Osama, Lake Park, right?
Yeah.
Further down, I didn't know Buddy like that. I started hearing the buzz. This is once again a younger cat, right? But as soon as he started, it looked like things were going. I started going on YouTube. I see crazy numbers. He ended up passing. It's like I see this trend so much, or people getting locked up. It's like, man, do y'all see that? Do y'all hear or feel the same? Or
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a curse, but it's
she thinking like, hold up, let me think.
Yeah, it's not
you
curse,
have
it's
to
not-
model yourself after your idols in some ways, right? And when and coming from Atlanta and coming back here, we are more about the content in our music than other places.
We've
I
heard
think,
that
if you get
before.
what I'm saying.
We've heard that before.
We are a little. We live in our music is more reality than, and that's okay because I would love to hear somebody come out and like really like tell our story. And I'm sure y'all can agree with me here. Y'all remember when Plies came out?
Yeah.
Like that Florida, like I was like,
He
wow.
owned it. Yeah.
Like and Trick was us too,
Yeah.
but it was a little industry and a little wash. But it was like I feel like when Plies came out, he just had like that raw Fort Myers, mouth full of gold, talk with slime, all it, like he embodied that, right? And I feel like Palm Beach, we have the opportunity to do the same thing, but you're not gonna be able to go to places you used to go. You might need to let go of some of them friends.
That's where I was going with it. So it's not a curse. But go ahead.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with it. You got to change with what you got going on. You understand what I'm saying? So as you grow, you got to start doing things different. You feel me? Because now you got people watching you. You don't know who really for you. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to really understand, like, you know, like you got to change with what you got. As you grow, you got to change with what you got.
I want to ask you, man, because I'm older than you. I know I am a little older. And I've watched you grow, bro. I watched you grow.
Facts.
And bro, you had a bigger party than almost half all of us in here. When you moved, it was 12, 15, 20 other people moving with you. Yeah. Now, my main question is I'm sure you had to lose friendships and take a couple of L's to be where you are right now. And I wanted to ask you, have any other homies come in and say anything to you about it, or like, because nobody ever hear that side. So I want to ask that question. I don't want to put you on the spot like that. Man,
that's cool. I'm with it. Let me tell you, man. Like it's like people always gonna come back. You understand what I'm saying? They always, cause when you are a major key
and good or bad way, like that's what I'm asking. Like the whole thing.
It has never, for me, it hasn't been bad because I'm working.
Okay.
So it's more of, like, can I move or can you help me do this and do that? But it's still gonna be, okay, I can, but it's gonna take this, it's gonna take X, Y, and Z, you understand, to do whatever needs to be done. So yeah, I definitely had people come back and, you know, always try to, see, you know, but
you ever feel like you took a couple of L's because of it?
Of course. Yeah.
A lot more, like
for sure I took L's. I took L's off of just loyalty. Yeah. Yeah, I took L's.
And I asked that because, again, we're doing this because we're trying to pave the road. You've made footprints, and people don't know about these young cats. They don't know about. And in your position, you blew my mind. Like, just seeing what you did here, you motivate me, and I'm like, damn, I gotta hit this girl up myself. You know what I'm saying? So, just to seeing it, and the county seeing it. Not just the county, everybody's seeing it, but to know that we're from here and still trying to push and get this thing on the road and going, and to show that we're from Palm Beach, Florida, and this is what we're doing for these young cats, because they need to see it. Nobody knows the story of Palm Beach, like you said. No one knows the story.
And they know us. I went and artists I was working with, we went and did Big Rankin, Trapping in the Basement, and I tell you what, I remember we walked in and he asked where we were from. And you know, Big Rankin from, what is it, Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
And I remember, where y'all from? Oh, we from Palm Beach. I mean, we just said it nonchalantly. That man said, turn the cameras off, turn the cameras off, turn the cameras off. Turn the camera, he took his glasses off. Y'all from Palm Beach. Man, I love y'all. And he just went into this story about working with Trick back in the day and just coming down. I mean, he went so far into telling us about his childhood. He used to go out to the muck and cut sugarcane down. Like, they know who we are, but I feel like we're going to have to, like, step. But we're going to have to step as Palm Beach. We don't need to be going to Atlanta and going to L.A. We need to create such a buzz down here to where they're coming to us. We can take business up there.
So you feel like we can create that industry
who
in
else is
Palm
doing it? Where's
Beach?
the competition?
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you go.
And I'm gonna tell you, that's why I love what y'all doing, like, because we didn't have that.
Right.
It took like a few. I don't really want to say it, but I'm gonna use this word: chosen people, to get to a certain point to be able to sit at this table doing what we're doing now.
Correct.
A lot of people don't get to see any of that and don't they
understand it either.
Exactly.
Correct.
You feel me? And never had, like, it's just it's blurry. You feel me? So I feel like this is gonna definitely help years
to go, right? Appreciate it, man. That's one of the reasons why we got up and running, man, is you know, we all got history. We all put in work in Palm Beach. We are still currently putting work as well. And some of us are, we trying to figure it out. We moving different. We still can create. We still got music. We moving different. But I think it's important that we can have these conversations and that the next generation can learn from it. Even the current might be able to can definitely get some gems from it. But I've learned so much of just Mo, and her story and from you, seeing you go and still going. It's amazing, man. And I definitely take my hat off to y'all, and I'm happy to know y'all. In Palm Beach, we repping, we strong.
For sure.
Right.
I just don't know if we can do it all here enough, because so far it's like everybody we spoke to is like, we just got to get together. We just got to get together.
Unite, yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like our contribution when I talk about Eric and Drego is that's why we kind of got with Exposure. Was like, all right, we see it. We all got our own movement, and let's do it, right? Instead of just complaining, because I feel like that's at one point.
I'm gonna complain for
well, okay. Well, look, I'm gonna let you.
Just me.
Talk.
Everybody
I ain't gonna
else
say
got
no,
complain.
but I won't say Eric complain. Eric, he's very passionate about the music, and that's one person. Man, I take my hat off. Even our younger days, it was someone I could always call and who would give you the gym. He would explain to you what you need to be doing, how you need to be doing, and we would like see an artist on the go, and we could, hey, check out what you call it. I remember when he put me on MGK. Like, what I'm saying? He's like, yo, check out this. But I'm seeing the grind, and that's how we would communicate. But I just felt like we needed something we can call our own. And that's what Exposure is about. Highlighting talent and also documenting the journey as we go. We here today, but that don't mean 3 months from now I don't have y'all back and see Money has now another situation, or Mo now is managing a big artist in the game. And now we coming back and we having that conversation. So this platform definitely is going to be here to stay and keep on going.
I love that.
For sure.
From the past to the future.
I like what you said about I took a L by being
Oh yeah,
loyal.
for sure, plenty.
And you can't spell loyalty without it.
I like that.
I was thinking about that. It's a fundamental ingredient.
Say that one more time. I feel like it was registering. Say it one more time, Eric.
I don't think it's original, but you can't be loyal without taking an L.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense because we take advantage of loyal people.
Yeah.
Facts.
Hey, I got another question real quick. How you felt about the Palm Beach County Awards, man? Were you around for that?
What year? What year?
Oh, you been to something?
No, I've never been there.
I'll say one thing though. You want me to really tell you?
Yeah, we want to hear that.
Man, let me tell you something.
Uh-oh.
I'm real with this.
Okay.
I'm serious with this.
What you got in that water bottle?
Okay. Bruh, let me tell you, like, I don't never feel bad. You understand? Who was running it? Was it Rohan, right?
Rohan.
Yeah, Rohan.
Okay. But that was my guy, you feel me? I was one of the first people he knew when he moved down there. I was at his spot, and when he fresh got to Palm Beach.
Fresh off the boat.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But no, that's my guy though. Shout out to Rohan.
All right.
The only thing that I would say about the Palm Beach, I didn't really. I forgot how many shows I DJ'd. I don't know if it was 2 or 1. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But all I do remember is, like I said, here we only have. It's not like Miami where you got 5-10 clubs popping. Here you got that one club on one whatever day it is. You might have other ones, but man, listen, wherever that one big popping spot, that's just the county. That's just how the infrastructure is.
Right.
So all I know is I was that DJ. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm the DJ at the clubs popping. You feel me?
Correct.
The only thing I just feel like, which is all, it's all cool, but
was there an award for?
Wait, hold on. He still ain't said what he's gonna say. Hold on, Drego.
I don't know how the system was ran or was being ran or whatever, but I just feel like because how close me and Ro was, I was seeing, I don't know who won. Like for example, I'm using me like a DJ and stuff.
Correct.
Unless you was on the radio station doing something like, outside of the club, I really don't see who was throwing bigger parties than what me and the promoters had going on. And I wasn't able to be a part of that. And I just feel like it was just the friendship You feel me? It was just everybody see me and you all the time and shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So that's why I don't really know how that was put together. So I really never understood it.
Got you. That hit different. And
different.
you weren't here for. We happened to have 7 Palm Beach Music Awards.
Bro, you remember having 7?
We had 7 of them.
I don't know.
And he hit us with when he told us, because I remember 3, 4. I remember about 4. The last one I remember was at the convention center.
Oh wow.
You know, so he even rented that. We went from clubs to that, but pretty much it stopped because of the feedback. Artists were ungrateful. It wasn't making money, but then you're getting a lot of hate online as well. This is like MySpace days for the most part. Sense. And we didn't really have a committee. Had a few people, but it wasn't really a committee. So it had some challenges, but it also did some good too. Like it brought a lot of artists together. Okay. Because when you talk about, you didn't know who everybody was. Delray got with West Palm got with Delray. Okay. You know, because I feel like once upon a time, if you were from Delray, you didn't really go to West Palm like that. Yeah, only the brave ones did. We would go to 45th and we knew T-Dot, you knew Hustler Jones, you knew a lot of other rappers from West Palm and vice versa. But it was an award show that I was highlighting. We got to perform. You won an award, of course, if you were nominated. You got the nominee process, and you get to win an award. So we was just talking about, do we feel like that was value added? Should it be brought back if it would unify us again?
I think that would be phenomenal. And then to spin the block and go back, we were saying why Palm Beach can't get on and why we can't keep it together. You said something really important. Yeah. I am the DJ. Yeah. Rohan is the promoter. We'll network down here with all the little rappers, but business is distribution. These artists will record a song, walk up to your DJ booth, bro, play my. Yeah. Bro, who are you? Yeah. You won't come show me love on any given night. You don't hit me up on Instagram.
So I can't airdrop you my record?
Listen,
it's mastered.
But you don't
I can't airdrop you my record. It's mastered and you got a Mac.
That's different.
It's mastered though.
But you feel what I'm saying? You won't even go politics.
I ain't even want to get in tune with airdrop. That right there, I ain't even want to be a part of that. Because now, bro, it's ridiculous.
I didn't want to be a part of that.
How do you expect?
Dog, like for real, it's different. Like you feel me? That's
how
some
do people
fast
expect their music to get played? How do you explain? You want these promoters and these DJs to fool with you. They don't know who you are. You don't send them music. You don't even send them a hello email. Hey, how you doing? Congratulations on the baby, bro. Can I pull up on you sometime? What are you spinning right now? Hey, I got a new EP. They don't work their own records. So even if you are making music with Delray, Loxahatchee, I don't care who it is, you got to be able to distribute this music. And why would you just rely solely on YouTube and solely on Instagram when you have an ecosystem that you could be farming right here? And then you, because guess what happens if you're a rapper, right? I'm a rapper. I come to him. You break my record for me. You got the club going, right? I get on. Right, I leave out of Palm Beach. I'm going to do shows here. But guess who broke me? This guy. Yeah. So when this guy wants to bring me back to the city, he's not paying that fee. I'm telling my manager, no. See, not paying that fee. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the club promoter. You go to Rohan, you go to...
But I was about to say, is that something... I feel like that happens a lot, though. And I don't know if it's facts, but DJs say it a lot. Like, they got behind a record, the artist goes, and they never look back.
That's the problem. That's there's an ecosystem. We have to feed each other.
At least take them with that album.
We have to...
Because other cities have mastered that. That Atlanta being one of them. But... keeping that ecosystem going, like the money the money needs to circulate a few times before it leaves the community, you know, because everybody benefits from it. The club promoter benefits from it. Like if you know that I'm Morgan the rapper, and for sure when I come through South Florida, I'm coming to Loft or whatever it is, that looks good on the club promoter, looks great on the DJ, looks great on me because they fool with me at home.
Right. You been in that position?
But let me tell you something. Bruh, I'm big on communication, real big. If, like in today's time, if you DM me and they don't go in the other, you know, they got the, if I get to it, and you send me something, and you from here, like let's say we're talking about Palm Beach, I don't care where you from to be real, but for the Palm Beach thing, and I hear it and it's hot, I don't care about the money and all that stuff. That's not what I do it for. Okay. I mean, money's a part of what we do. I get it. But if I really like a record, I'm going to support it. I've been doing that. I've been doing it since the MySpace days. I used to have I remember when Black Dot, I ain't even know who the hell he was, but just the song was so hot.
Yeah.
I had him on my little playlist.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah,
me? So
yeah.
That's just the type of DJ I am. If my soul and my spirit like it, bruh, I'm gonna put it in rotation. DJs, we DJ by BPM. So most of the time, I just throw it in the. If it's hot, I'm gonna throw it in there. And if you make it in my playlist, I know it's already hot. So now when I'm mixing, I could just pull it up. It don't really matter what I pull up.
And that costs the artist nothing.
You feel me?
To hit you
high
up.
five. He giving you a high five, man. Only my dog hanging. Only my dog hanging.
No, I ain't gonna say
It
something.
looked like a high five was coming. Go ahead, Slam.
And I'm trying to be honest. I think Palm Beach County have local celebrity syndrome. I don't think there's nobody qualified to even feel deserving of certain things because we haven't met some of the base level requirements as an ecosystem. You use that word, right?
Yeah, she sure did.
An economy.
So the advice is beautiful, but and it's just this not the message to us. This the message to the listeners.
Yeah,
and myself included. We are not qualified to behave in some of the ways that actually deflect the ecosystem coming together to move as a cellular body. So to everybody listening, there's some good advice, but some of y'all gonna try to apply it that put in a lot of work and not taking them away from nobody work. But the reality is, and the history shows, nobody have ever reached the level to not be as humble as possible.
Correct.
In the entire county.
I agree.
Yeah.
Correct. Not to throw no shade, kind of switching up a little bit. Not to throw no shade. There's
shade.
a lot of the music that's going on here, and I hear that's coming from here.
yeah.
And I can't fuck with it.
Right.
I just can't fuck with it. Maybe I'm just getting too old.
Nah.
No,
Wait, what
I
y'all
think
think
you're
the
right.
Palm Beach sound is?
That's
Bro,
what we need to.
I know I'm
I
gonna
was
disagree.
kinda-
I'm
I
gonna disagree,
was
but
kinda
I want to
waiting
know.
to get to that because I wanted to see how well I don't know how in tune y'all are to the city, the current city now. But to Eric's question, what do y'all think the Palm Beach sound is? Whether you describe it from an artist or
wanna hear
you
one of y'all
got characteristics,
I
go
want to
ahead.
hear one of you guys first.
The Palm Beach sound. I'm gonna be honest. I was always one of those not in a bad way, but I'm not. I went to school to play piano, all that stuff. I read notes, but I was always good at playing by ear. That's just my gift. Like no matter how much schooling, but I read the notes. It's kind of slow, but if you start singing right now, I'm gonna play straight up to it easy. So with my ear being that way, I always had an industry ear. You understand what I'm saying? So once you're trained that way,
Right.
it's
versatile.
yeah. So that's what I'm automatically looking for, and to be able to hear and catch it
Correct.
as soon as you presenting something to me.
Correct.
So I do agree with what Eric said. You feel me? And I haven't. The industry do have a sound, if that makes sense.
But do Palm Beach have one?
Yeah.
Because okay, let's use an
I think
example.
I think they do, but they gotta be working with the right people.
But what is it? That's what we're trying to figure out. Is it if you can name an artist, or what characteristics or what features does the Palm Beach sound have?
I think it's
straight
too.
up opinion.
I think I'm from the blocks and stuff like that
Right.
too. I just
Okay.
think it's more of underground. If you ask
You
me,
think
I
we
think
still
it's-
got that?
Yeah, I think it's more of an underground feel.
We're
like, you know?
lacking melody.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there you go.
Thank
That's-
you.
that's-
We are
underground.
lacking melody. We are lacking structure.
Hey, I don't know where you from, but you paying attention.
I've
Listen.
been,
There you
I've
go.
been
That's
listening
the
since
underground.
a kid. Yeah, Triple J is probably the only one that I felt like
Yeah.
had a melody for me
Right.
growing up. Like I'm
Right.
like, okay, I can rock with this, and it's like I feel like we are such good rappers that we just over rap and we just rap.
It's
There you
too-
go.
yeah.
There you go. It's just like musician. Like when I be producing,
That hurt.
there's a difference than when you playing on stage. versus when you're in the studio producing a record. And even producers that I work with, that I train, I'd be like, hey, even I love church. I grew up in church, but I love. Hey, we good with all that, sharp notes and all that craziness. But when you're in here, let's dumb it down just a little bit, just not too much going on. Let's find the keys that really, the fillers, like the feeling, and that's all we need for the record.
Right.
You feel me? So.
Kind of what I was telling you, the global house. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like I don't go to that max, but I want to keep it in that good feel zone. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. It's not dumbed, but it's in that pocket where everybody can understand the music. Exactly. It don't matter how old you are. You gonna understand what I'm saying and feel where we going with this music. Yeah, it's exactly what.
And it all comes through training, and that's what she said. Like over rap and all that. Like you feel me? You just gotta.
It's too mellowed out. That's why.
So I'm gonna try to be honest and say that the Palm Beach sound may look like it's street music.
Yeah, I agree.
Like this, I mean,
killing.
That's
why I go back to my curse theory.
Everyone.
Some of the people was not, in my opinion, and I'm not even a street dude, but a lot of the stuff that, and you talking about how when people real, a lot of that stuff shouldn't be in songs.
Right.
I don't know how this keep happening. A lot of that stuff shouldn't be in songs. But so the sound appears, going off reference of whatever is just popular, we would think Palm Beach is like hood and street and they bought that life and all that stuff. But when you really, if you really know the essence or the spirit of the county, it's far from that. I think it been extremely misrepresented. Even you with your musical background, you and Merk the mic, y'all friends. When you know these people in real life, you be like, it's a whole nother person. Or when you see what they actually listening to, or you go back and you really sit down with Triple J or Toe Down and you see how they really function and the stuff they really, really like. There's this artificial film over what Palm Beach assume they supposed to be, and then we are mimicking. I know that first episode we said everybody's stealing our stuff, but I see a lot of artificial representation because we so talented. We can do what other people doing, but we have way more potential, and there ain't nobody really guiding to say, nah, y'all do need more melody. Nah, y'all do need more complex beats. And then you see all these artists that nobody don't know about, and you be like, wow, you amazing. Palm Beach got reggae artists. Yeah. Palm Beach got calypso bands. Palm Beach got acoustic guitarists. They got people that can rap, that can play the guitar and sing, like all this type of stuff. But you don't see that representation. And I don't think the spirit of the county will ever let something come out that is, especially for the initial like the flagship, I guess, voice of the county. I don't think it ever let something come out that's gonna give it the wrong impression. It's actually a beautiful place.
Yeah, I think because of what we created without the social media platform, that's what was stuck for that time. But I definitely think change can be done now with Spotify and Apple Music and just the major platforms. I feel like that can change all the gangster and all the. I feel like we have more open doors to be able to, because I done seen people that got true talent go the total opposite to please, just because they feel like this is what's here and this is
that's what's gonna win.
And really, like when they by themselves, they got like true talent. Like they raw, but they just went total opposite.
This like a chart that y'all put in the chat of like the hot artists of the.
I shared that. The one I showed you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I sent them that. That was the one I sent.
And that's what.
So, but everybody on here.
That's Palm Beach.
Yeah. Everybody on here is pretty much really urban.
Yep.
Like, and I'm using that word loosely, but it's like the most trapped out possible.
Right.
So that's all we really see. And nothing against. I actually don't know. I only know Soulja Kid and Psycho and 2 of the other people. I know
But let's just say somebody from Palm Beach didn't make it. Wouldn't there be more people want to be like that? Kids be like that person in the county. If someone from our county,
yeah.
correct, right? We need that role, right?
I think so, yeah.
Like, so we're missing that kind
I
of.
would love for us to just establish a sound. Like, I'm so excited. I'm more excited for like the producers in the county, because I know that once we get like a definitive sound going,
Right.
I know that you guys will be able to take an artist and push them and stretch them and mold them, you know, because we do have the talent here. But I think that it's a blessing that we're kind of not on yet. It's kind of like, okay, well, who gonna hit first? Type of thing, right?
That go back to what you said, Eric. Go back to that.
I don't know what I would say.
Okay.
I would say wouldn't Double A have the most far as a current producer with all he did with NBA YoungBoy?
But we need
I would
our
think so.
sound. We don't need Baton Rouge sound. We need.
No, Double A from here.
He from
I
here.
know that, but we need when you
an
hear
artist.
Well, no, just like a sound, right? Like if I put a Zaytoven track on right now with y'all eyes closed, you know where it came from. You can it'll take
LA
you to a
sound.
place. If I put on Mustard track, you know
I
we're
feel like
in
Mustard.
LA.
I could tell a Mustard rap.
You can take
That's
you can
one
tell
I
a
feel like I
Zaytoven
could
record.
tell.
You
Scott
can hear an
Storch, I
Alchemist
feel like
record.
I feel
you
like
can
at
hear
one point.
Cardo Got Wings record. You know just by closing your eyes and listening to it. I can't close my eyes and hear Palm Beach, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to hear my city.
But willing it take somebody to get on it for us to kind of create that sound? Because
Somebody got to make it.
yeah,
Back
somebody
to
would
that.
have to make it, and then we
Yeah,
kind of
back to
have
that.
that structure would start. I would
Right.
think.
Well, you know
agree.
what's crazy though? Me as a producer, what I usually do is, let's say if I'm working with Eric or I'm working with you, or
Thank
something,
you.
I would go back. I like to hear records that you've done first.
Yep.
And see which one of the few of the records is making that noise, you know. And what I'll do is I'll create something around what you already have hot. You feel me? That's not gonna take away from your character,
From your energy and anything.
You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Gotcha.
that way, because she's right. A lot of artists like that's up and coming, they don't have a sound. They all over the place.
Right.
And once we do that record and it's actually doing something, we repeat that, and that becomes your sound.
Correct. And it's just become that real damn, that was a question I wanted to ask you, bro. With the sound thing, being a producer, when you see an artist, we sit before we can go to the song, we sit we study you. We sit and we study you. We're like, damn, this is what they like, this is what they like. Period. That's what it goes. That's what it breaks down to. We study you, and then we go back and look at your inventory and be like, you know what? I think I like this energy right here.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm gonna work on right
and
here.
That's
So
a good
it's
way.
kind of like it's us, but we're feeding the energy that they already have, and they don't even know what we just did. So that's he's exactly what he said. So
So
that works.
do we count like the Wi-Fi funeral? Do we count like the Island Boys? Do we count Bad Baby? Do we like it's people
My
that's
God.
from here
Ariana
may
Grande.
that may not Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Like
That's Boca Raton.
do we?
She
are-
Boca.
Listen.
Yeah, like so it may be people it's people that's did things that our immediate relationships.
Let's go back
We
to
not
Plies,
giving-
bro.
we not saying.
Everybody's doing Plies. When he was doing it, it was Plies, bro. It was Plies. Everybody was trying to do
So
Plies.
so is that fundamental for like having a sound? Like we would want to build a sound, but there would have to be a conscious want for that. But
Right.
outside of that, what's stopping the Island Boys from making a hit record and taking off and representing and because technically they had the sound for Palm Beach for a little moment.
They sure did.
Nah,
They
somebody
sure did.
somebody from New
But
York eating off of what they did, and they ain't get no credit off that probably. So
somebody else did?
I Marquis was the one who he's a DJ, took whatever they did and made the money off what they did because he's the one who blew them up. But them boys, they just talk smack on social media.
They from Wellington.
They just talk smack on social media.
But I think they got the following. I think if they got with the right producer and songwriter with a group, if they were to say, you know what, let me let someone else write the record, I think they could have some momentum.
Yeah.
You know, I think because they got a large following. Those supporters would follow, I'm sure, or even check out the record.
All right,
I think.
Question for you, or everybody at the table. I'm sure you have plenty of ideas that you can work on. Somebody you would like to work on, or you have a bunch of music in your library right now. If a youngin come to you, not just come to you, you see them, they hungry, but they don't have that guidance. They need the producer to produce and to give him that guidance, or need someone to give him that guidance that you have. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why I'm saying this is because I came to my boys one time and I told them, I was like, yo, we ain't doing nothing. We got so much stuff in our library. How about we find somebody that's really hungry, and we got all the stuff in our library. We already got the lyrics, all these beats, everything's done. Why don't we just go and manage a little group or a kid? Would y'all do something like that? Speaking of, anybody, everybody.
Yeah, I do it.
You would do it?
Do it. They just, the work ethic has to be there.
Yeah, the drive, you would have to see the drive.
The work ethic has got to be crazy.
I'm with you. And if you
I
just
wouldn't do it by myself.
Yeah,
I need
okay,
five
yeah,
other
of course.
people
Yeah, it would have to be a group of us. Yeah,
I'm with
a
you,
group
but
of
I agree.
old heads to.
The work ethic would be very important to that.
Correct.
Because I think we could guide them with all the experience with God and what we know.
Correct.
But that work ethic, they gotta want it just as bad.
And we probably got a library for at least 3.
If they gotta want it,
if you got a library for 3 albums, maybe
be
more.
The only way.
Correct.
If say you got like 7 people consciously say, all right, let's go find somebody who's gonna listen and work, and then we do all the stuff that they may not know how to do.
And we're all funding all together.
I don't think I'll go in my library. Maybe pick but I'm so versatile. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have one type of sound
Understood.
or production. Like I'm everywhere.
Understood.
I don't care what genre.
But so you telling me right now you got one? You're not gonna go in your library to see what works for that person?
It depends. I can, but I've worked with artists that don't want to go in the library.
Oh, they want to recreate the whole.
Like, you feel me? Like, let's do something, like that you don't have already. You feel me? So I guess it depends on the situation at the time.
Correct.
Then I could go from there.
Okay.
Clarification too. Why we just did you do a hook for somebody with a song with Rick Ross on it?
Yeah, for sure. Let Us Live.
Let Us Live.
Yeah.
You on the hook?
Yeah.
And that's the name of the song.
That's a crazy story. Yeah.
Okay, and so you on the hook?
Yeah,
Did you make the beat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ross is on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not tripping. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just a little curious about that.
Yeah.
I was kind of going through your catalog, and I'm like, man, money making moves.
Music moves money.
I see.
What you mean by that?
Music moves money.
Man, it can mean a lot of things, man. You know what I mean? But my name Money. Music moves money, baby. You feel me? So I just keep it. I let it be. I'm open with it. You feel me? So.
But what was your thought? Like when you did it, you had to something had to say, "Oh, this hard."
Well, I was going through names. I was going through names. I had 5 different names. You feel me? I had 5, and this was one of the ones that was open. Shout out to Tanil Doyle. She won the music, and me and her just came up with it and just start with it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she understood where I was at. You feel me? And it's just something we stuck with.
Okay.
You feel me?
So let's talk about you say you did a hook for Ross. There's a story behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
What about, how did that come about? Because I mean, damn, not everybody has worked with Rick Ross from Palm Beach.
I was working out at the time Pitbull owned the studio now. I forgot the name of it at the time. It was Studio Center. I was working out of there in Miami, and I knew the owner, and the owner hit me up and said, "Hey, I got an artist." And it was crazy. A week before I was working out of there. So like a week before, I was reading the news, and the artist that the record's originally for, which is Blaze Carter, lost his son, and there was a story about it. And
I remember
it's
that.
funny because before I knew I was going to work with him, I was reading about this on the newspaper and things like that. So I was working out the studio. Come to find out, the studio was managing him at the time and said, "Hey, I have an artist I want you to meet." And can you do a record with him? I'm like, all right, sure, let's meet him. He set it up, and it was him, and he was telling me the story, and it was just like we was running through beats, and that's the beat I had in the in my drive.
Right.
So once he picked the beat, we set up another session, and we were working. He had a friend, and they were trying to sing that part. But one thing about me, I'm not into any of that. Like, I'm just sitting back, did the beat, I'm engineering things like that. But I seen how much they were struggling in the booth to just do that hook.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, it just wasn't in the pocket.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Because originally I think it was supposed to be Fetty Wap, and that's when Fetty Wap had was doing
Just
this.
blew up.
Yeah, had this thing going on. So I'm like, you know what? Since y'all not the ones that's gonna be on it anyways, I'll just do the reference. I did the reference from, and long story short, man, like whatever happened with that, I just end up staying on there. You feel me? And and then they got Rick Ross on the remix of that, and
congratulations, man.
That's
That's
how
dope.
that happened. That's the story
That's
behind
dope.
that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Dope. It sounds like a lot of your plays came from working though. Like if you didn't have your hustle, going to different studios, whether you're creating for an artist at the time or you're building that catalog when you do get with somebody to show them what they got. Yeah. If it wasn't for your traveling and that hustle, I don't think you would be the person you are today. Like it's grinding nonstop though. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Just hustling every day. Every day.
So, and Mo, Georgia, Florida. So what's the biggest difference you see? Atlanta was already on, so I get how you can bump into with DJ Drama. You, Nicki, I mean, you dropped like top 5 people in the industry. Like crazy. You dropping some names. You still don't believe it. So can we do that? You feel like we could do that in Palm Beach?
Yeah, I feel like we have a blank canvas here where I like what you said about being humble and nobody's really in the position, but I think you can look at that half empty or half full. Like we have a blank canvas. There is nobody here to gatekeep anything. You just get to create and be fabulous, because if you think these record companies, these A&Rs, it used to be like where you had like just an A&R up at the label and they kind of did their thing in artist and repertoire, but now they're coming down into these markets and this is Buddy at the club and he's the #1 DJ up here. We're going to send him 30 bands and he's an A&R now. So you just don't know who's watching. You don't know who's around you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, I definitely think that we can do it here. No, do we have Atlantic around the corner? No. But they're here. You drop Billy, they're here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're here. They're around. I'm around. But we just there has to be a spark. There has to be a flame. I got to smell some smoke. Like what's going on? But I totally think that it's possible. And then once we get a breakout artist, once we get a studio or a label to break out, once they set up shop, they're gonna come and they're gonna start looking here. They're gonna start farming. But we got to get something going at some point. Yeah. And I think we have to have a more positive outlook on it. We can't be worried about this person hating on me and this person ain't showing up to this. They're like, bro, you just gotta work. Yeah. You just gotta work. You gotta keep working and keep working and keep working. Because who's in St. Petersburg other than Rod Wave?
No, I mean
who's in St. Pete?
We how about to say nobody?
Who's in Fort Myers?
Nobody I know.
Who's in Fort Myers other than Plies?
Yeah.
So for us to say that we can't do it, we can do it. We just have to, like what you're doing, we got to do the work.
Yeah.
So I saw something the other day, and I'm pulling it up on my phone. So for Triple J for next year, all right, it says 2023. It says Unknum, right? This is Triple J, Tore Down, Papa Duck, Ike, and Lucky Lucci. The next project is going to be Jordan and James. There's going to be Triple J and Van Dam. And Triple J has another project that's untitled right now. You know what I'm saying? So what really opened up my eyes is to see someone that's Trip, how many projects he done gave us, and his consistency on dropping music, right? But that first one, Unknum, and I feel like this is gonna be something I can see with especially our generation. But Triple J, I'm gonna say the names again. This is all one album. Triple J, Toe Down, Papa Duck. I don't know who Ike is, and I don't know Lucky Lucci. But I think now when you take everybody's fan base, we're going to take these 5 fan base from each artist and combine it to see what kind of flame that ignites. Like, I think that's going to be something to see.
They make an album together?
Yeah, it's a whole album together. Like that's the only thing. As we keep saying, we got to do it. I keep hearing, we got to do it. We just got to put. That was the only thing I thought of is would everybody be down? Like the artists I know, if we all put our head, if everybody's giving 12s or 16s that drop a 12 to 15 song project, will that? I mean, it's gonna make the workload a lot easier because now you're just giving a killer 12 or a killer 16. But if you get multiple people to work together, how awesome would that be? Like you dropping singles right now.
Yeah.
So let's just say like a DJ. I'm throwing this out there, but we might have a C Money presents, and he gets like you know what I mean, and that might be something we could, you know what I mean, but. I was like, that might be what it takes. Like, we all have individual projects, but imagine if we get together and we create that Boys in the Hood type feel with 4 or 5 artists, and will that be the ammunition? Let's think about the visuals. And now we busting down a visual with 5 different folks. Now, how much are you really spending now if you're breaking down that budget divided by 5?
Can I add?
Yes, you can.
Why? And I think that's gonna be dope, and I want to hear that. That's gonna be a fire. That's gonna be a fire. The other thing, like I'll give advice to artists. We gotta start working a record. I'm gonna give you. Here goes some steps.
Okay.
Like Morgan,
right,
you keep.
Morgan,
sound like some game.
That was something
Morgan,
I was
you
kind of
keep
like.
telling us to stick together. We don't know how. Okay, when you get a record, when you get a body of work together, you need to pick a single. It needs to go. It can't be, it has to be something that sounds good in the car, sounds good in the club, people can dance, so it's got some melody to it, and you work that single. And you put money behind that single, and you give that single to the DJ, and you work it, and you work it, and you work it, and you study the numbers, because before, Eric, we didn't have really numbers to study.
That's facts,
we have analytics now. You got free analytics. And we got to get in the practice of working cities. F&F was out 2 years ago. 2 years ago, that little girl been working that song for 2 years.
Yeah.
And these niggas won't give it 2 weeks. We gotta start working singles. Once you can get a single to go, great. Okay, bro, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna hit him with an EP. Standard play, 6 songs.
Easy.
6 songs. Pick a single off of that. So now you got a single spinning in the club. You got an EP. You got a body of work for them to go learn who you are. You get to tell your story, whatever that is. Another single. Slide that into the mix your BPMs or whatever it is that you're doing, right? And then now you're building bodies of work. Now here come the features. Oh, I'm gonna go get old boy from. I'm gonna get One Hot to jump on this with me.
There you go.
And now you got work in the pipe. We don't have no work in the pipe. We all over the place. You know, 9 times out of 10, when you go to like these bigger markets, first thing they're gonna do when you get to Georgia, what single are you working? And artists go to looking up in the air. What you mean, dog? I mean, I just play what I play. No, baby.
She sound like
I'm a program director.
Sound like
I'm a program director.
I need your single.
What single are you working?
Understood.
Because what are we putting the money? I'm not playing this and this and this. No, you got to give me, because if not, next. There are other people that are coming up here that got their business together. Find a single, work it, give it 6 months. Give it 6 months. And then in that 6 months that you're putting your money behind that single, whether it goes or not, you're in the studio and you're working on more art. No one's telling you not to work. No one's telling you not to create new stuff. But you're keeping something in the pipe, and then you're trying to look at your analytics and you're trying to figure out, okay, this sound don't work, so we're not going to do that anymore. And then all the while, you're learning the business. You're learning how to work a single. You're building relationships with DJs. You're learning marketing collateral. Half of y'all don't even got your song registered.
I know that's right.
Take off the damn morrow and you ain't got no money. You know how much streaming dollars are out there floating for people, and they don't even know how to get their money?
That's
when these little, you know, I ain't gonna.
It's amazing. 4 different revenues. You got your streaming, right? You got your BMI ASCAP. You got Song Trust. You got Sound Exchange. 4 for 4.
Keeping it G. Keeping it G. Then you get these little punk ass white boys that want to come around and manage us. Lid off, gloves off. They want to come around and manage you. And, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you 10 bands. That's your fucking money. He just went and got it for you. Here go 10,000. That was money that you been had out there. But you don't know that.
Yeah.
Because you're not taking the steps. You're not going to skip steps. You're not going to buy a feature into stardom. You're not going to buy a chain into stardom. You're not going to go buy a new car and rent a new car and go to South Beach your way into being a rapper. You got to stick with the fundamentals. So, yeah, I would say working a single is super important. Because that's what the label's going to look for, too. That you know how to do that.
Bruh, you get new followers all the time, right? Man, listen, there's records I produced like 10 years ago, you always see me share it today as if it just came out. You understand? I do that till today.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? And I got a playlist, right? I got an Apple Music playlist.
Right.
And every time I'm vibing to my playlist and one of my records come on that playlist, automatic share. You understand me?
Yeah,
So to somebody it's new.
Yeah, correct.
Somebody is new out there.
To your point, I guess I slept on that. But I guess I'm playing with the Spotify for artists the other day. Just not really clicking, I guess, through everything. The other day I had some time. And I didn't know until I clicked on playlists and I went through all time to see how many people added one of my records to a mix. And I'm like, God, I didn't even realize that most of the streaming is coming from a playlist. Yeah. I see the numbers and I'm happy, but it's actually people putting it on a playlist.
Playlisting is where it's at.
Yeah, that I had no idea was that. You know, I see the ads, of course. Hey, get added on this playlist for $82. You know, the spam or they're getting you. But I'm like, But that was very interesting to see how many people actually work the playlist.
Yeah.
And know who it's just like with business too, like when it comes down to marketing. I always tell like rappers and singers, you got to find your ideal customer avatar. You got to treat yourself like a business, right? You need to know with playlisting, right? You're not just going to throw yourself on any playlist, right? But who listens to me? Who listens to me? What does he drive? What does he wear? Where does she shop? Does she have kids? These are things that people aren't thinking about because you're just not thinking about it, right? But if you can create a product or if you can create a sound and you know when I go to rapping on the stage, I'm rapping to this guy. Whenever I do like little local shows and stuff like that with artists, I can always pay attention in the crowd. The guy that comes up to the stage, most likely he sees himself up there. I work with shout out to Super Dave. That's an artist that I'm managing right now.
Okay.
Every time I do something with Dave, there's always a taller dreadhead rolling up in the crowd that slowly finds himself, and that's who Dave makes his music for. Now, if everybody else pours into that, that's fine, but Dave knows who his audience is. He knows what they like, what they drive, what other artists they listen to. So he can listen to, I don't know, I'm not in his creative mind, but he can listen to an artist and kind of piggyback off of that because this is what my fans like, to where he did a listening party last summer and packed it out because he knows who he's rapping for and who he's rapping to. And the sooner we figure out that like it's a business and you do have to understand who your market is, his crowd is not the Island Boys, and that's okay. But you rap to your crowd, you make your music for them. And then you work a single.
Yeah. What you?
So what gets any of what takes this discussion to the solution that we seem to be talking about this season? Because we hear a lot, we get a lot of advice, we get a lot of ideas and references, but none of it's to date worked for anybody yet. And we, as much as we can say what people are not doing, we all know somebody who reached those heights, like what Super Dave did. That's amazing.
What's next?
But still, we've been saying this for years,
like
and we still back complaining.
That like it go back to what I said. I feel like this is definitely gonna help because a lot of people really don't have that guidance and never heard like things like what we're saying. You feel me? They never was able to experience any of that. So I feel like for the ones that are able to at least get some type of knowledge from here, it'll definitely make some changes.
Well, you being nice. Because she around, she accessible. People have been around. That's a justifiable excuse, but it's still an excuse. The information is being given, advice is being given. There's intelligence. We still,
I got some homework.
Every month come back to be complaining.
I got some homework.
Who you said? Who complaining?
Complaining like we just get together.
The heartbeat.
And be like,
the
damn,
heartbeat.
Man.
Yeah.
You know
why? The heartbeat complaining.
But one thing and I'm just speaking from the era I remember, is coming up. We had promoters that believed in the local artists, if you want to call it that, or the indie. I know some local artists don't like the word local. Let's say indie artists, right? So I'm gonna throw some names. Like for example, you got the Hood Representative. You had a Raylo, right? When I say that, these guys, if it was in the club, they would find a venue, a lounge, whatever it converts at the night. They found spots and would do underground festivals, or if they brought Plies, if they brought Boosie or a main artist, they would get 2 to 3 locals to open up. I have not seen that in years now when we talk about our city. We don't have a lot of clubs, to your point. We still got Ivy, with the Loft. But how many artists are we bringing artists to these spots? Besides Ivy, they're not bringing no artists like that. I don't see artists coming in the circular rotation as they used to. Every 2 months, we had somebody in the city. Like, it was a big artist in the city. That, I feel like, has died down.
It's budget.
Yeah.
These artists these people are, because I do a little booking on the side. You can't get nobody for less than 30,000.
Okay, so
We've heard that number.
Okay,
it's real.
So, like, more ammunition to say, damn, Psycho buzzing, Trip still relevant, Suave still dropping albums and singles.
Soulja
like,
Kid.
Like Soulja.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't that to the point be like, okay, well, let me work with a smaller budget and see what I can do. But I don't see promoters. Like, look at Mirage. Now, I don't know if everybody in here been Mirage.
Yeah.
How many artists from Miami, and C Money, you were there.
Yeah.
How many artists from Miami did Mirage really break? Like, give them a steady bag.
They live there.
And I'm talking Bizzle,
Yeah.
Under Surveillance, Billy Blue,
Greasy.
Iceberg, Ball Greasy, Briscoe. I mean, it was a
Them
rotation.
days gone though.
Right. But
not here
I
right
feel like
now.
that's what's happening right now. Like, we
But
don't
nobody
have,
gonna build that.
But
Nobody ain't gonna build what you miss.
that's kind of what we're
but
doing, though.
why? I feel like if we're trying to get back to
I'm
it.
with you. I think bring the formula back.
Who
Thank
gonna
you.
do that?
Thank
though?
you.
No, I hear, but I feel like that would make the difference because we can go. I remember seeing like you on. I remember going to a venue and seeing on stage. I remember seeing C Money on stage. I remember going and like, okay, who that is? I hear the name. Okay, now I'm probably on MySpace trying to find. But I seen how it works, and the next thing you know, I try to build that. Okay, that's the DJ. I'm gonna build a relationship. You networking and you get the experience in one spot. But now that doesn't happen no more. So
That
I feel
don't
like
even exist right now. What you talking about?
I know, but I feel like that's the part of the problem.
No, we need an acceleration. We
Okay.
an intervention. We need and it's bigger than what it could be obtained just locally. The industry of music need to be like some type of network or union in each market where there is solid representation for music to actually flourish in the way that body needs it to be.
Okay.
So if we elected somebody like you who have or the music industry elected people to be in certain areas that can be the mediums for what should be done, and there's actual real muscle that could come of it, so we don't have to do all the stupid doo-doo stuff, because a lot of the industry got lazy. Really lazy, and there's more money to be made by robbing children of their dreams than it is actually giving true opportunities.
Right.
So we have to snatch all that out. All the good advice, it's beautiful, but it don't matter if somebody like yourself can't execute what you worked on and built and be able to press that go button and know that it is gonna work, because you already did the homework. It's proven through references and others. Like, I'm just using you as an example. Then it can go and it can work, and then we won't have to be sitting around scratching our heads and pointing fingers, because people are gonna get they do get burnt out, they do get exhausted. But people are so beautiful and resilient, we always gonna look at the light side, like, why be negative? But the reality is, a lot of great people don't get heard, or some people just may not have the talent that an executive mind or a producer mind. Some people just don't have. They just can only write and make songs. That's it. That's what God built them to be.
That's cool.
Done.
Yeah.
And they are the people Those usually be the people that will listen, and all that marketing, all the cool stuff that's amazing that built the Marvin Gayes, that helped build the Nickies, that helped build some of the greatest artists that went through that traditional A&R process and artist development. That need to come back, because I think that's gonna help everything. The solution, in my opinion, they need to be like real muscle, and I'm putting that out there to the universe.
Yeah, we need,
Real muscle.
There's I don't know if you guys read. I'm a reader, but there's a book called Startup Communities, and you basically just described what that book talks about. And I think we could take a lot from like what the tech space is doing right now, and basically what the book talks about is like having a startup community, and what that would look like is just how he's getting ready to do like the networking event here, but everybody comes into a room monthly, quarterly, but they come in with a plan and a purpose, right? And what they do is you come into this room, it's free, it's no charge, but you come in with your plan. I need this, and this. Okay, bro, what do you need? And I think that is part of a solution, but people have to know what they need, or they have to know what questions they're coming to ask from the room, because you're not going to get it just texting here and texting there. You need to be in the room with all of the creatives and all of the people that can help you and all of the business people, because that's how do you think these apps get funded? How these VCs find these people? These are like billion-dollar white guys. They're not going down to the Harvard lab, or maybe they are. You know what I'm saying? But I think like a startup community model. If y'all want to check out that book on audio or whatever, I read it and I was like, bro, this is what the industry needs.
Gotcha.
Get everybody in a room, but don't just come in the room to laugh, drink, and smoke. Come in there with a purpose. What are you working on? A piece of more advice that I would leave anybody that's watching this today. Write down what you need. Before we go into 2023, I would highly advise to write down what you need as an artist. You don't have a manager. Okay, who in my camp can manage me? I'm getting beats off of YouTube, 5 or 6 people. Okay, I need one solid producer. Start writing down and itemizing the things you need to feel better about your career. And then once you have that written down, now you got a plan, now you got a framework. Now go find it. Now go find it. And you'll start to see that it'll start to make sense. But when it's like, oh, I'm going to record this day, and I'm going to do some social media this day, and I'm going to hit up C and see if he got any, oh, no, he's in New York because he's making money. He ain't got time for me. This, that, and that. You know what I'm saying? But have a plan. Right. And then when we have, like, the networking events, you may not come in the room with it like this, but you got it here.
Understood.
And then when you walk out of the room, we got to stop walking away from each other in Palm Beach empty-handed. We don't need to walk away. Nobody in this room needs to walk away empty-handed tonight.
That I freaking love, because I think the last time I was here, that was one thing. I'm going around trying to introduce myself, and more folks, I know who you like, but it was more like, I know who you are, but let me get your number. Like I would love to chop it up a little bit more outside of here, and that was the part I miss. That networking and mingling with folks from they had what is it, Ace Magazine. I haven't seen him in so long. I didn't even know people were still printing magazines. That threw me off. I'm like, whoa. Like, I just realized, but seeing that, and just, it was a lot of other folks, but I was able to talk with individuals, fatherhood. It was great conversations, great vibes, but agree with you 100%. You got to network. You can't just be scared, but you see somebody, walk up to somebody and be like, hey, what you do? Yeah. All right, let me get your number. Let me follow you on IG, whatever the case may be.
I still walk with business cards, bro. Like,
oh, that's important.
You feel me? I still be with it.
That's important, like, bro. Just don't stop.
I love one thing. Z told me something, and like flyers and things like that. That'll just never go away.
Gotcha.
And I believe that.
Yes, sir.
Because if your battery die, that's it. But you take that card, man, put it in your pocket, man. When you go home, charge your phone. All right, let me lock them in.
I was just talking to someone about that recently. I was like, yo, you know that we grew up from an era where they made flyers and put them on cards, put them everywhere. And now you walk around and it's on your phone now, bro. Them boys went it was already digital to make it a flyer, and then they just skipped a whole different step to print it out.
That's the difference. But when you go to a Haitian event, like the last show I did,
I'm sure
I had 20 flyers. I had the windshield, the crack of the door, the side, the back door, my back windshield. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, they aggressive with it.
You're right.
But that's one thing they still do. They still go heavy with that kind of stuff.
all the people we admire, when you listen to like the Jay-Z's, the Master P's, Birdman and them, everybody that we idolize did that work.
Yeah.
They did that. When you go back and listen, I don't know why we think we're above it.
It still work.
It's the work.
It's still with that guerrilla marketing.
It works.
right.
It works.
You gotta put in the work.
Listen, if somebody walks up to me and, ma'am, this is my music. How you doing? My name is so-and-so. It's hot. I'm more likely to go in the car and give it a listen because I'm still a human being, right? Than if you just pass it to me and keep walking.
Yeah.
You should, be a person.
Right.
Like, these phones were supposed to bring us together, and they couldn't have taken us farther apart. Connect with people, especially dudes. Like, I know, like, being in, like, that trap and, like, that street world or whatever, you guys can connect on so many levels. Fatherhood, God forbid, incarceration in a lot of cases, there's so much that we can connect over, but we're not, like, finding that ethos with each other. I'm sure if anybody walked in here and said, hey, bro, I'm so-and-so, this, that, and the other thing. I'm just trying to do my thing, bro. I appreciate you. What you got going on? You got some music? Let me listen to it. Bam. Yeah. Both of y'all got a listener. But we, like you said, we got to get away from this celebrity.
Agree. No, agree.
I'm going to pause for a moment just to stimulate our minds because we still, the heartbeat of Palm Beach is still complaining. You said flyers work. I'm going to go back. The heartbeat of Palm Beach and their complaining posters. The math said it ain't work for nobody. A lot of people spent a lot of money and waste 20,000 flyers. As many of the success stories we can make sure I'm on the mic. Many of the success stories we have, there's Zia tell you some stories of some flops too. There's a few of the Palm Beach Awards, most of them made no money. It actually was in a negative. So I'm wondering if, because it's the conditioning that we see it and it feels good in our subconscious minds, that there's this illusion that it's working because it's just part of the culture, but the results is still saying, and I'm speaking as this is the round table for solution. The results is saying that it ain't, none of it's still work. We might have some litter.
I disagree. Let me say why I don't think it's a waste. Because I had events, right? Bruh, same guerrilla marketing. The same thing I did. I ain't changed nothing. 1 week did not work. Party, like 2-3 people party. I'm DJ. I still DJ for the 2-3 in the club. I don't care. Next week, same thing. I didn't change nothing. Wall to wall. So I don't think it's anything's ever a waste. Maybe the support and the timing just didn't add up or was there at the time. But like that's why I agree with her. Just keep going.
Well, that's something else you're talking about. You talking about an event, a baby shower.
No, even with the artists, even with that stuff, you just gotta keep going.
We can't keep telling people keep going, and we've been around. How many years this place been here?
That's why I kind of didn't go into detail.
There's people
who?
I mean,
who can you lock in the studio right now next door? Right now,
I know somebody that's from here that you know that was with Def Jam. You know that sign. I don't know him personally, but I know he's from here and he actually works with my team, Wonder Music, and what is his name? Elijah Blake.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Very successful. You feel me? So there's people. I just think they may not.
Writing, ain't it?
Yeah, he had a hit song.
As an artist.
Yeah,
but we still complain though. We still complain. So
well, it depends who complains.
To agree with you, then maybe we lying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends who complaining.
Maybe we lying and this place did take off. I just might not know.
They are not in the street with them flyers.
That's the thing about it. We trying to really see.
They're not telling the truth. Where's the street team? I have not seen all these little boys running. I had a little boy run up on me yesterday. Ma'am, can I do some work for a few dollars? The thing about it is you get the 3,000 flyers or the 2,000 flyers and you finally get them in your hand. It's like, oh shit, how I'm going to distribute them? You too good to go out there and pass out your own stuff?
Yeah, you, like she said, make a connection. Like, You gotta talk. Don't be
So
scared.
did we take off or did we not take off? I
So
don't know.
We ain't
I
take
forgot
off
all
yet.
about Elijah, man.
All right,
We
so
gotta
we
hit
ain't
some-
take
ain't
off
take
then.
off yet.
But I don't
we
think
ain't
nobody
take
knew who
off
homie
We
was.
need the solution.
Right.
But
Yeah, I don't think nobody.
I knew Elijah Blake.
I knew
People
Elijah.
knew, but it wasn't.
So
It,
you're trying to
it
say
ain't
it didn't
ours.
count?
We didn't claim.
So it didn't
we didn't
count.
claim that.
Okay.
Nah,
So-
it
did-
ain't
he
no
did,
don't
'cause
count. Like
he
you
wrote,
from here, you know, he
Right.
was
for
doing
Usher.
things here
Yeah,
too.
He
exactly.
wrote the Usher
Yeah,
song,
long time
the
ago.
climax.
Right, he wrote Climax, yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
eventually, you have to get out of here for
So-
certain other opportunities.
But nobody talk
to
about
grow.
Double A, and he got platinum plaques. Nobody ain't talk about what Shife did.
Even
So what
Shife
I'm
had
saying,
to
so I'm
grow,
saying,
you know?
there's people did stuff, but for this county that we and the goals for it, the goals have not been met. There is no sound. There is no industry. There is no media. I'm agreeing with her with the blank canvas. So as long as this blank canvas theory is alive, then
But
the
remember,
complaints.
You gotta do it for the world. You feel me?
that's facts.
You gotta do it
yeah,
for the
we
world,
need that
not
blank
just for
that
the
blank
county.
canvas. The world
You can
ain't looking
represent
at
it
that.
and let them know, like,
Yeah,
hey,
that
this
means
is
you
where I'm
own it.
from.
Yeah, you own it.
You know,
Not
this
like
is where I'm
nobody
from,
came
and
here.
you can make it, but you gotta build and grow. So
Correct.
it's
And
bigger
then-
than just the county. You feel
Right.
me? So
We're
feel
just
like-
not creative enough. You know, I think that the flyers is one thing, but it's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, it's flyers, it's events. How
Exactly.
How do you put out an EP? There's no listening. Every DJ in the
There you
city
go.
should have your music. Every DJ in your city should have a T-shirt with your face on it, with your album on it. You need to be calling over there to LaRon and bro, I'm trying to rent out OVO for my
LaRon want
listening
that
party.
bag.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
it
okay.
takes
I'm sure he'll work with you
That's
though.
okay.
And hustling them, he'll
That's
work with
okay.
you
That's
because he know
okay.
you bringing them
Because
clientele.
you're going to have to spend it. You either
Yeah.
going to spend it with LaRon or you're going to spend it with somebody in Georgia.
This
You're
is
going to
true.
spend it.
This is
You
true.
know, so, but those are the other things too. Like I always tell artists, you need a budget. We don't talk about budget. I just went and did the, my homegirl hosted the Earn Your Leisure event down at Art Basel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really dope for artists. They basically, it was a panel, but they were going through, like they gave the game away on slides. This was like during Art Basel. It was just a bunch of creators sitting in a crowd. And they did a whole panel on budget. And one of the things that stuck out to me was, he said, just because you have 100 bands, that's fine. But how are you spending it? Because most artists, you up $1 million, you up 500 or whatever, but then you start throwing the money out willy-nilly. The money didn't have a purpose. If anybody knows budgeting, every dollar should have a purpose.
right.
Every dollar should have a purpose. If it's 100, great. There's 100,000 reasons, 100,000 purposes, right?
Love it.
And so that's what I feel like they need to do. They need to do more events. Like look at, when 2 Chainz drops. There's always some sort of PR event. He's turning the crystals into a shoebox. How many of these local businesses
I like
you
the
could
Pink
go
Trap
in?
House.
Yeah, stuff like that's. But that's called project management. You get these girls at these labels to come in and do some project management, physical marketing collateral, USBs, lanyards, keychains, magnets. You can hit them with flyers, but you really gotta force yourself on people. If you look at QC, Coach and P, right? Mm-hmm. And I love y'all. They forced them children on us. You woke up one day and you was just listening to Lil Baby.
Yep.
You woke up one day.
That's true.
You woke up one day and you was rich and didn't give a fuck about a nigga. Why am I singing this? They force it. So you got, people don't know what they want until you show them sometimes.
I love that.
I
I love that. So with that being said, the last question I would say is, C Money, I'll start with you first. What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's a good one, boy. That's a good one.
What's the one
you know
thing?
what, though, dog? Like, I would say the younger me, I was always trying to, I had a big squad. That's straight up. Everybody know that. Everywhere I go, it's an entourage with me.
I think I know where you're
And
going.
I'm always, I put people before I put myself.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And when I do something, it look like we all did it. Everybody knows that. And I just feel like the younger me, always put yourself first and stay focused. You feel me? Put yourself first, stay focused. And whoever come along the way, that's just what it is. But
that's what's up. Mo, same.
I give it to my younger self, and I give it to any artists that are listening. Is just to be consistent and just don't let up. Just be consistent and don't let up, because there were times in my career where Gucci would go to jail, and then I wouldn't have a job for a few weeks or this, that. And it's easy to feel like an imposter. It's easy to feel like your work is going in vain, but you have to remember it's not. There's a theory out there. I want to say it's called the theory of latent potential, right? And what that means is you can input and input and input and input and input and input, and on that 100th input, it puts you over the edge into stardom. But it took all of that input that did nothing, right? It's like a roller coaster going up. We ain't dropped yet. We ain't dropped yet. We ain't dropped. God damn, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. It's getting thin up here. It's hot. Oh, my God. And then you finally hit the top, and it pauses, right? Where is this motherfucker going? And then it drops. And so that's the advice I would give my younger self, is to keep going. Focus on the theory of latent potential. It's coming, right? But you can't be focused on all the noise, because it's a lot of noise. And as we get older, especially like as artists are aging, it's easy to get distracted. You go out here, you get these babies. You go out here and you get into debt. I'm just going to go do. You can go and do all these other things, but just don't let up, because there is a Nicki out there that's not. So.
Yeah.
Do you feel any, and this is a real question, do you feel any resistance for being a woman in the industry?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? It's, I feel it, but I think you know what it is? I'm going to say this. It's not that it's resistance. It's a language barrier. I feel sometimes when a woman is dealing with a man, we have a language barrier. The way that you gonna feel him when he talks to you, my delivery is. I mean the same thing. I want the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But we have a language barrier. So I have caught myself raising my voice.
Say it with your chest.
In times where like I don't want to, or like when you're taking an artist into a city, or like when you've booked a show or this, that, and the other thing, sometimes you do got to get a little, because they will run over you. Yeah. If they can. I did, back in 2013, I did Gucci in DC, and I did the whole deal with the guy. It was like a $48,000 show. And I remember I flew up to DC because my cousin was playing for the Ravens at the time. And I show up to the club. This was like the only show I had ever booked and actually went to, right? Everything else was like arm's length. And I remember showing up and the promoter looking at me and was like, hell no. Because I'm like this big at the time or whatever. But yeah, like you get like the disrespect and stuff like that. But just as a woman, you just have to stand your ground. Don't sleep with nobody.
Dang, for real.
Don't sleep with nobody. I'm just keeping it G. Don't sleep with nobody. Don't take no money from them. If you didn't work for it, it's not yours, because they gonna want something from you.
That's
it's
hard to do, or no. I feel like it's hard to do, and people don't.
Some of them don't know, and they feel like it's something that comes with it, and they don't really want to do it, but they feel like that's what's gonna help them, move forward, and that ain't.
Your
that
work
ain't
is
how
gonna
it should
speak
be,
for
and
itself.
It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, your work is gonna be when you're phenomenal. Like I can go to Georgia. My face is good, and I thank God for that. Like my integrity has kept my face good. I've never screwed nobody. I've always been honest. All money ain't good money. Integrity is just everything. Because that's what's gonna carry you. That's where your investment is at. If you invest in your integrity and doing right by people and just doing good work, people will never forget how you made them feel. They'll
Real
never
talk.
forget that.
No, real talk.
She
As
came in the
men,
room.
We take advantage. We'll take advantage of women that want to be in the industry, and we'll know it's a weakness and it's a vulnerability, and that they'll take responsibility,
right,
for us taking advantage of them. So, I say that because I feel it, and to date more conscious about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, we give them a bad rap, but we don't take into consideration how much we take advantage of them playing what the industry may say. Because how many times you've been somewhere you be like, dang, she's smashing somebody.
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
you know it.
Man,
like
yeah,
it ain't
yeah.
speculation,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
I wonder if is that genuine? That's just genuinely what is there? Because sometimes there's like a companionship energy. Like, oh, I'm in the industry. They ain't ugly, and maybe we'll rise together, and then it end up turning into something else. And now you're in that circle, and this is your
You do what you want to do with your body, but just, yeah. I mean, if you wouldn't sleep with somebody on your job at AutoZone, if you wouldn't do it at Walmart, you know what I'm saying?
It don't play out
like,
good at the end, bro. It don't play out. It don't play out good because there's always feelings involved.
Yeah.
And then
just keep work. Where I remember being like 19, 20, and I won't drop who it was, but there is like a well-known like click label up in Atlanta, and I remember being in the studio like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm sitting with the engineer. He's like, "Can I tell you something?" I say, "Yeah." He's like, "You promise you ain't gonna tell nobody?" I say, "Yeah." They basically had a bet out who was gonna hit me first.
Damn.
And you know what? I wasn't as offended as I was scared, because you got to think I'm a young girl in here 2 and 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it kind of made me rethink. Like, first of all, as a woman, you should never have to be afraid to go anywhere or to not be protected. But it just changed the way that I moved. I'm like, all right, I'm not out here at 2 or 3. I tell the artist that now. You go on the road, I don't need to be there unless I really need to be there. Because it's just not certain. There's certain situations I don't need to be around a bunch of weed smoking and drinking and caring. I don't desire to be around that. Did you get your front end? Cool. Did you get your back end? Cool.
Get out of there.
Have mine. And that's it.
And that's it, man. Well, with that being said, y'all watching Exposure. We got C Money, managed by Mo in the building. And we out.
It's more than just a podcast. It's exposure.